Jays, today's game is Senior Day. And before we begin today's contest, we'll take a moment to honor the 18 senior members of the 2018 Elmhurst College football team. Starting first with number 75, Jeremy Allen. Jeremy is a two-year letter winner and starter for the Blue Jays. He started at guard each of the past 2 seasons. He's a graduate of Oswego East High School and is the son of Tammy and Mike Allen. Number 44, Ross Beck. Ross is a 3-year letter winner for the Blue Jays who started on the defensive line. Beck has played in 24 contests and owns career totals of 46 tackles, 22 solo tackles, 5.5 tackles for loss, and 1 quarterback sack. He's also recovered a fumble. A graduate of Paw Paw High School in Michigan, he is the son of Brenda Beck and Scott Beck. Number 33, Nate Booker. Nate is a 3-year letter winner on special teams and as a running back. In his career, he's rushed for 48 yards on 10 carries while catching 2 passes for 10 yards. He's added 8 tackles in his career. He's a graduate of East Aurora High School and is the son of Nancy Booker. Number 57, Zach Dixon. Zach is a 3-year letter winner for the Blue Jays who started each of the past 3 seasons at tackle on the offensive line. A graduate of Plainfield East High School, he is the son of Diana Dixon and David Dixon. Number 8, Brandon Dominski. Brandon is a 4-year letter winner while starting each of the past 2 seasons at linebacker. He has 4-year career totals of 95 tackles, 48 solo tackles, 5.5 tackles for loss, a half sack, 1 forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. He's also scored a touchdown on a blocked kick return. He's a graduate of Lincoln Way Central High School and is the son of Laura and Todd Dominski. Number 81, Theo Edens. Theo is a 2-year letter winner playing both wide receiver and tight end. He has career totals of 5 receptions for 38 yards. He's a graduate of Bloomington High School and is the son of Chantel and Theo Edens. Number 55, Jim Fisher. Jim is a 4-year letter winner for the Blue Jays while serving as an offensive lineman. He's a graduate of Oswego East High School and is the son of Lisa and Jim Fisher. Number 3, Tremaine Franklin. Tremaine is a 2-year letter winner for the Blue Jays who has started at linebacker. He owns career totals of 16 tackles, 9 solo tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 quarterback sack. A graduate of Eisenhower High School, he is the son of Sherry Warren. Number 26, Brandon Greer. Brandon is a 1-year letter winner after transferring to Elmhurst prior to his senior season. As a starter at cornerback, he's twice been named the CCIW's Defensive Player of the Week this year. He has totaled 68 tackles, 58 solo tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 1 quarterback sack, and 2 forced fumbles. He's also broken up 9 pass plays this season. A graduate of Mount Carmel High School, he is the son of Francois and Milton Greer. Number 14, Chase Hankins. Chase is a 1-year letter winner for the Blue Jays after transferring to Elmhurst prior to the start of last season. This season, he's appeared in 3 games at quarterback, including as a starting QB. He has completed 19 of 32 passes for 152 yards, while also rushing for 14 yards. He's a graduate of Rockford High School in Michigan and is the son of Pat Hankins. Number 12, Orlando Hernandez. Orlando is a 4-year letter winner who has started each of the past 4 seasons at quarterback. An all-conference selection in 2016. He's appeared in 33 games and owns career totals of 384 completions, 4,642 passing yards, and 36 passing touchdowns. He's also rushed for 1,076 yards and 11 TDs in his career. He ranks 5th in school history in both completions and passing yardage, while ranking 4th in passing touchdowns. He is a graduate of Peoria High School and is the son of Kathy and Hilario Hernandez. Number 5, Ben Holloway. Ben is a 3-year letter winner who has started at running back. He owns career totals of 211 rushing attempts, 728 rushing yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns. He's also caught 39 passes for 291 yards and a TD. He's a graduate of Galesburg High School and is the son of Maureen and Mike Holloway. Number 56, Sean Kelly. Sean is a 3-year letter winner who has been starting at defensive end. He owns career totals of 135 tackles, 64 solo tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 10.5 quarterback sacks, 4 pass breakups, 2 forced fumbles, an interception, and 3 fumble recoveries. He also scored a touchdown earlier this season on a fumble recovery. A graduate of Lincoln Way Central High School, he is the son of Christine and Kirk Kelly. Number 13, Jacob Memosher. Jacob is a 3-year letter winner for the Blue Jays who's played both quarterback and wide receiver. He owns career totals of 53 receptions for 646 yards and 1 touchdown. He's also rushed 5 times for 65 yards. He's a graduate of Rock Falls High School and is the son of Sheila and Jay Memosher. Number 71, David Michaels. David is a 3-year letter winner on the offensive line. He started each of the past 2 seasons at tackle for the Blue Jays. He is a graduate of Oaklawn High School and is the son of Mary and Tom Michaels. Number 2, Jim Phelps. Jim is a 3-year letter winner for the Blue Jays while also starting at linebacker. He owns career totals of 46 tackles, 27 solo tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and 1 interception. He's a graduate of Lawrence High School in Michigan and is the son of Jessica Schneider and Dave Price. Number 52, Romaine Richards. Romaine is a 3-year letter winner for the Blue Jays and a starter on the defensive line. An all-conference selection last season, he owns career totals of 87 tackles, 47 solo tackles, 19.5 tackles for loss, and 7.5 quarterback sacks. He is a graduate of MacArthur High School in Florida and is the son of Ronald and Tammy Richards. And number 35, Jim Robley. Jim is a 3-year letter winner for the Blue Jays, playing both running back and tight end. He owns career totals of 47 carries for 157 yards and 8 receptions for 83 yards and a touchdown. He's a graduate of Sandburg High School and is the son of Linda and Dave Robley. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have one last round of applause for the senior members of the 2018 Elmhurst College football team.
Switch. I'm going to sit here. Actually, we have more room to spread out this thing. Doesn't matter. I'll take this here. I'm announcing too, so that's. No Bruce. Which are going to be in play. 5, 7, 9, 10.
Education is kind of in my family. My dad's a principal, and so I've seen that lifestyle, and I wanted to further education of students, and I really enjoy kids. And so that being said, I wanted to be a teacher and then coach as well. The elementary education program is very rigorous. You get out in the field, you have field experience starting your sophomore year. So your sophomore through senior year, you're always in the field learning. I think that's just like a huge advantage here at Elmhurst College to have you out in the field early, just because you have such almost like a leg up on everyone else that is going into that major as well, just because you're out there, and it takes 3 or 4 years to realize what the system of a school is. We're in schools all the time as students, but not necessarily as teachers, so it's a different point of view to see the whole school atmosphere. The professors, they're really great. They always email you right back, even in the evenings if you have questions on assignments and papers. The ratio in the class is there's 12 or 13 students per professor in a class period in the elementary education program. And so with that being said, you're not a number, you're a name. And that's something that I really, really like, and it definitely prepares you. They always push you in the classroom, they always push you on the court, off the court. Our coaches push us to do other things besides sports and our major, to get out in the community. And with all that being said, it's kind of a resume builder, and so that's how it pushes us to become more prepared for the real world. Our basketball team actually has weekly meetings in the fall with the Center for Professional Excellence, so they help us build resumes and help us, get our name out to people and businesses for internships and jobs and all that. But I know that when the time comes, I feel like I'm going to be prepared just through the education that Elmhurst has provided and the skills that I've learned as well through sports and our studies.
Coming here as a Division III player, you're coming here to get your degree. We have some players that go on to be professional athletes. They've gone overseas, but that's not the norm. Our players are coming, they're finishing their playing careers here. And so whenever they're done, they're being prepared in something else other than just basketball. So for us, that's the student-athlete model. You come in, you're working hard. Our players put in as much time as a Division I player does, but it's because they want to be there. I know that from motivating our players, if they're coming to practice, I know that they're working hard because it's out of them, not just because we've got a dollar sign, they have to do it, this is how they have to stay in school. They don't have to be there. They're there because they're motivated to, they want to be a good team, they want to be a good player, and there's something that's special about that experience to me, coaching that player.
Welcome to the cultural season at Elmhurst College. Elmhurst is a place of values and conviction. We were founded by 19th century reformers who believed in human potential, loved learning, and had standards. More than 140 years later, we still do. We still attract students and teachers who want to think for themselves and act on principles, who challenge and respect one another, who engage, serve, and celebrate our diverse, dynamic, interdependent world. A few years ago, to be clear about things, we wrote down our core values. This year, we asked some of our students what those values mean to them.
Elmhurst College is unique in so many ways.
Here we really do have values, and my professors know the values, and they push me to be those values.
Stewardship and faith and community and service, and it really does bring in kind of a level of just interaction with values that you never go up before.
But as you kind of develop yourself over the years, you start to realize these values mean so much more, and you start to uncover the true meaning behind them.
You begin to see equivalencies between your life and the school, and then you discover that you're not just in a place of learning, you're also in a place of growing, you're in a place of maturity and value, exactly that, core values.
Intellectual excellence means allowing our minds to grow in ways that we've never thought they could before. It means exploring those new pathways, seeing how we could do things different. It means stepping outside of our box of what we know and what we're comfortable with and taking those risks to really grow and make things better. I think that's really the core of what intellectual excellence is.
The professors set the standard of intellectual excellence, and that rubs off on the students, and I feel like that's rubbed off on me.
You really have to push yourself. So to know that's actually a value here is pretty important because that's something I value on my own. So if my college values it as well, that means I really belong here.
To say that Elmhurst College values community, I think, is an understatement. I think Elmhurst College is community in so many ways.
Coming to Elmhurst College, a small college, it has to be about community.
It doesn't really matter who you are or where you've come from. Everyone here will just love you for who you are.
The fact that every individual and every unique person is allowed to be in an environment together and learn from each other and grow with each other.
Just the fact that it's smaller and that you form those one-on-one relationships, it encourages like creativity and questioning and all the things I wanted out of my college experience.
Social responsibility means caring for each individual as a person.
There are all these people and they're all more important than my general happiness as a single person.
You're not only trying to better yourself, but I feel like it also means it's your job that you better your community too.
Knowing that there's something larger than yourself and that you can play a part in making someone else's life better.
Taking what I learned from my family, that others come before me, and translating that into the entire world.
It's really awesome to be in a place where not only are you worrying about academics, but it's also teaching me how to be a better person.
To me, stewardship is just being responsible, really thinking about your actions.
If I'm going to say that, I believe in this philanthropy, I think we should do this, I need to follow through with my actions.
What I found coming to Elmhurst is that there are lots of people that feel the same way. So it was easy to find a group of people who were so engaged in service and so willing to help.
Kind of made me reflect on, what do I value in life? Why am I here? They really did kind of push me to the next level and make me think about that, and I think that I'm a better person for it.
Values really help shape identity. If you really don't understand your values, you're not really understanding a part of who you are.
I was more sheltered until I came here, and Elmhurst has really kind of made me step out of my comfort zone and learn more about what I want to do and what I believe in.
Places like the chaplain's office and the Niebuhr Center for Faith and Action give me safe places where I can go to discuss my faith and to discuss my values with people that I know I trust and people that I know I can count on to influence me and to lead me in the right direction.
You can never be forced out of your faith or forced into a different kind of faith as long as you're at Elmhurst, that you really are given the ability to take your pick and always have encouragement from your peers, never shunned or excluded or pressured into something else. There's always a place for you.
If you believe you're here on this earth for a reason, that's going to affect the way you live your life. That's going to affect the way you treat your academics, the way you treat your social life, the way you look at your future and the goals that you have. Those things seem like really big things, but all of that boils down to the way you live your everyday life.
We value
intellectual excellence,
community,
social responsibility,
stewardship,
faith, meaning, and values.
Elmhurst College is much more than buildings, courses, and credits. It's a supportive community of individuals who are committed to helping you reach your full potential. But don't take my word for it.
I visited a lot of schools, but when I came here, it was just I'm home.
As soon as I walked on campus, I felt like I could dive right in and get involved.
Getting involved is easy, especially in class. The average class here has just 17 students.
Every faculty and staff here just wants me to succeed.
I can go up to them and it's not just office hours. I'm here from 10:30 to 11:30. It's actually whenever you need help, my door's open.
There's a real connection that takes place. I'm frequently asked, what do I teach? I never say music. I teach people. Music's the vehicle.
It was great to see that rather than just teaching textbook material, they're actually giving you some industry insight.
I'm a vocalist. I'm out in the clubs performing. I'm touring in Europe and performing. So they see how their life can transition into.
And we welcome you to beautiful Langhorst Field on the campus of Elmhurst College as we bring you Blue Jay football this afternoon. The Elmhurst College Blue Jays entertain the Vikings of North Park. And a very pleasant good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mark Kruger, delighted to bring you all the action. We thank you so much for logging on to BlueJayTV.com. The Blue Jays and the Vikings of North Park, identical records, 1-7 overall. They are both 0-7 in the CCIW. Both teams won their season openers. Elmhurst on the road, knocking off Aurora University 21-20. Meanwhile, North Park won their initial game at home against Anderson. 28-13 was the final in that one, but then the CCIW came and neither team winning in league play. The Blue Jays coming off of a 55-0 loss at North Central in Naperville last week. It was the Cardinals' homecoming weekend. And meanwhile, North Park losing at home against Carthage 33-20 was the final in that one. You see midfield, the opening coin toss. North Park won the toss, elected to defer, so the Blue Jays will get the ball first here this afternoon. 51 degrees kickoff temperature. Not much wind to speak of, a bit of a breeze coming from the east, so on your monitor from right to left, the Blue Jays decked out in Columbia blue, helmets, jerseys, and pants, and the white numbers. Meanwhile, the Vikings in the white away jerseys with the black pants, then the black numbers and the black helmets. This afternoon's game, the 56th meeting between Elmhurst and North Park. Elmhurst leads the all-time series 41-12. There have been 2 ties in the series that goes back to 1960. North Park won the first 2 contests. Elmhurst had won 14 straight against North Park until the Vikings snapped that streak in 2015. Elmhurst has won 22 of the last 27 meetings, including the past 2 seasons. Last year, Elmhurst winning 23-20. It is senior day here this afternoon at Langhorst Field. 18 seniors, nice being recognized before the ball game, and we thank them and congratulate them and wish them all the best. Gary Anish will tee it up here for North Park. Good crowd on hand here for the final home game of the season. Elmhurst will travel to Wheaton next week to finish out their season. Meanwhile, the Vikings of North Park next week will host league-leading Illinois Wesleyan. Illinois Wesleyan 7-1 in the conference. North Central right behind them at 6-1. 3 teams at 6-2, Milliken, Washington, and Wheaton. So we are ready to go here. Back deep is Justin Parbs for Elmhurst, and it's going to be taken by one of the upmen, and he brings it across the 40 to the 42-yard line. That's number 35, Jim Robley, the starting tight end. First and 10 for the Blue Jays from their own 42-yard line. So Orlando Hernandez, one of the 18 seniors, 4-year starter at quarterback. Out of Peoria, Illinois, 5'9", 185-pounder, leads this Blue Jay offensive attack. Jacob Mamisher split out here to the bottom of your screen. Tristan Womack is in the slot to the top. The handoff is to Ben Holloway, and Holloway will lose a yard. Holloway is one of the seniors as well out of Galesburg, Illinois. Comes into this game with 356 yards on 102 carries.
Loss of 1 on the play, 2nd and 11 for Elmhurst.
Up front for the Blue Jays, Zach Dixon, Jeremy Allen on the left side. Nick Paleo is the center. On the right side, David Michaels and Chandler Cowan. Michaels, Allen, and Dixon, all seniors on that offensive line. 2nd down and 11 after that loss of 1. And that pass complete to Jim Robley, another senior. 6-foot, 180-pounder. He gets to the 46-yard line. It's going to bring a 3rd down and 6.
What is that, 46? Hernandez pass complete to Robley, good for 5 yards. Brought down by Anish on the
Third down, and this has been a concern for the Blue Jays all season long. They are 26% on third down conversions this season. 29 of 112 on third down conversions this season. Third down and 6. Hernandez, straight drop pass, and boy, that one nearly picked off David Simmons with excellent coverage right there. Simmons, a 6'2 senior. Jacob Mamashore was the intended receiver, and so 3 and out here for the Blue Jays. Blake Bailey will punt it away here for the Blue Jays. Bailey averaging 34 yards per punt, his longest 44 yards. Dalton McKay is back deep for the Vikings. And Bailey gets off a pretty good one. McKay from the 20-yard line brings it to the 25, and he'll get tackled at the 28-yard line. 8-yard return by McKay. And now we'll introduce you to this North Park offensive unit. Grant Borsch, 5'10 sophomore out of Walkerton, Indiana, is the starting quarterback for the Vikings. He has thrown for over 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns, 9 interceptions on the year, 123 completions, 224 attempts.
Okay, we're all set then.
3 wide receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom of your monitor here for the Vikings to start. First and 10 from the 28-yard line. Borsch is going to pass, and it's going to be wide open. Malik Powell is across midfield. Powell, one man to beat, and Greer shoves him out of bounds. Brandon Greer with a touchdown-saving tackle, shoving Powell out of bounds. Malik was wide open across the middle here. We take a look at it again. And you see Brandon Greer pushing him out of bounds, but into the red zone already after one play. It's first and 10 from the 12. 50-yard pass from Borsch to Powell on the first play from scrimmage. Here's Borsch, and that one is intended for Brandon Vinson, the 5'11 sophomore. Incomplete, and it will be second and 10. Vincent cutting across the middle there. Up front defensively, Romaine Richards, Ross Beck, Sean Kelly, all seniors on that defensive line. Jim Phelps, Tavy Derns, Marco Huxahold, who had a great game last week against North Central College. Talk about that in just a second. Straight up the middle running, this is Michael Sirocco. And he brings it to the 8-yard line, a pickup of 4. Huxahold last week against North Central, making his first start, had a season-high 16 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks. He also forced a pair of fumbles that he recovered. So it was quite a debut starting at linebacker. Greer, Sean Jay, Tristan James, and Stefan Postman in the secondary here for the Blue Jays. Third down, call it 6. Borsch looking, throws underneath here to Brian Mena, and Mena gets a first down to the 2. So it's going to be first and goal here for North Park. They spot it right at the 1, so it's going to be first and goal for the Vikings. And
Borsch's pass complete to Mena.
The first quarter has been an issue for the Blue Jays this season. It's been a slow start to games. As a matter of fact, they have been outscored 65-14 in the first quarter. First and goal here for the Vikings. Borsch on the quarterback keeper, straight up the middle, diving into the end zone for a touchdown.
Borsch on the keeper.
So Grant Borsch on the quarterback keeper gives the Vikings the lead. 5 plays, 72 yards on that drive for the Vikings. Of course, the big play was the pass from Borsch to Malik Powell that went for 50 yards. Extra point is good, so 7-0 in favor of the North Park Vikings. 11:43 remaining here in the opening quarter.
With 11:43 to play.
And both of these two teams with 7-game losing skids. Both teams looking for their very first CCIW win of the season. Other games in the CCIW today. Augustana is at Carroll. Washington U is at Milliken in Decatur. North Central down in Bloomington taking on Illinois Wesleyan. That is a huge game as far as the conference goes. And Wheaton is in Kenosha to take on Carthage. That also got underway moments ago. So Gary Anish will get ready to kick it off once again here for North Park. And back deep, Justin Parbs for the Blue Jays.
Back deep for Elmhurst.
Short kick. Parbs on one bounce from the 15-yard line. And he will get back to the 30-yard line, 15-yard return. Tackled on the play by Thomas Gowell, sophomore linebacker out of Niles North High School. So out comes Hernandez and the Blue Jays offense for the second time here this afternoon.
Anish Hawk off return 15 yards. The play clock should be 40 seconds and going. Kick return 15.
Get to our officials here in just a second.
From their own 30.
Orlando Hernandez working out of the gun. Two wide receivers to the top. They're going to throw. Looking to his left is Hernandez. Kind of slipped and fell. Tristan Womack was the closest Blue Jay. Second down and 10.
Complete. Second and 10 for the Blue Jays.
Jeremy Mansilla is the referee. David Clisham is the umpire. Brett Anderson is the headline judge. Jeremy Reed is the back judge. Scott Stanzik is the field judge. Steve McLaughlin is the side judge. Ralph Carey is the line judge. Second down and 10 here for the Blue Jays. Sun peeking its way through here. Beautiful afternoon here in Elmhurst. Second and 10 from the 30. Holloway is the ball carrier. And he will get nowhere back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. It's going to bring up third down and 10. Well, they're going to spot it at the 31. So give Holloway a 1-yard gain on that play. It's going to bring up second down, or I'm sorry, third down and 9.
Landreau and McIntyre. Third and 9 for Elmhurst from their own 31.
Joey McIntyre, big number 93, was in the bottom of that tackle. Freshman out of El Paraiso, Indiana. Third down and 9 here for Hernandez. Orlando throwing here to the near side to Mamashore, a little bit overthrown. David Simmons was there on the coverage, so again, it is 3 and out, and again, it's Blake Bailey coming in to punt it away. You look at the numbers, pretty even. Elmhurst averaging about 12 points per game. North Park 13 points per game. Total yards of offense, 267 for Elmhurst, 264 for North Park. Turnover margin, +3 for North Park, -1 for Elmhurst, and that one is blocked by Simmons. David Simmons on special teams coming up with the block. It goes out of bounds, and the Vikings are going to be, well, right at the 20-yard line.
He can show up anytime now.
That's the incomplete pass to Mamashore. And so for the second time, North Park in the red zone.
Where's it at the 20?
Ball spotted right at the 20 after the block punt by David Simmons.
Simmons with the block.
So North Park starting out this game very, very well, as the Blue Jays continue their struggles in the opening quarter. Grant Borsch working out of the gun here now. First and 10, North Park from the 20-yard line of Elmhurst. Rolling to his right, plants his feet, steps, throws, and it is incomplete. Sid Smith, the fourth, had it in his hands, but then got hit and dropped it. Simply going to be an incomplete pass.
Borsch's pass intended for Smith, incomplete. James there on the cover.
Tristan James was there defensively. Tristan Spelling Angel Mata, who is out with an injury. Sean Jay at safety. He was a question, but he is out there. Sean Jay and Brandon Green having two very good seasons in the secondary. Michael Sirocco, the ball carrier, his second carry of the afternoon. Sirocco coming into this game, 42 carries, 155 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Sirocco, the ball carrier.
He gets the ball to the 17-yard line for a pickup of 3. So this is going to bring up 3rd down and 7.
3rd and 7 from the Elmhurst 17.
Opponents have converted 44% of their 3rd down conversions against the Blue Jay defense. Borsch has times over the middle, and that one incomplete. Sid Smith, the 4th. The intended receiver, good hit by the secondary of the Blue Jays, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 7. Will be a manageable field goal attempt here for the Vikings, but Grant Borsch looking over at the sidelines, and it looks like the Vikings are going to be going for it here. Mike Conway, the head coach in his 6th year as the head coach of the Vikings, going to go for it. Why not? 4th down and 7. Borsch is going to pass over the middle. Oh, Brandon Vincent took a huge hit, but it's inside the 10. He holds on to it, and it is going to be 1st and goal for the Vikings. Boy, take another look at it here. Vincent, how did he hold on to that? Did he get a hit?
Brought down by Jay on the play.
Sean Jay with the big hit, the sophomore out of Dundee Crown, his 65th tackle of the season. But give credit to Vincent holding on to it, and now it's going to be 1st and goal for the Vikings just inside the 10. 7-0 Vikings, 9:16 remaining here in the opening quarter. Borsch on the bootleg, going into the corner, and the pass is complete to Vincent, and it's a touchdown. Brandon Vincent, his 2nd touchdown of the season, and it's 13-0 in favor of North Park.
Borsch's pass complete to Vincent for 9 yards and a North Park touchdown.
Well executed, little bootleg out here, and a down and out pattern by Brandon Vincent in the corner of the end zone. And it is now 13-0 in favor of the Vikings.
Pangelinen on for the extra point.
Tyler Pangelinen, and his 2nd extra point is good. And that makes it 14-0 in favor of North Park.
Elmhurst 0.
Boy, what a great start by the Vikings. Of course, the blocked punt. North Park capitalizing on that. The Blue Jays this season have been shut out twice. They got shut out against Augustana here at Langhorst Field, 35-0. Second shutout was last week in Naperville against the Cardinals of North Central, 55-0. North Park has been shut out 3 times. They got shut out by North Central, Wheaton, and also Carroll. Justin Parbs is the deep man here for the Blue Jays. 9:06 left to play here in the opening quarter, 14-0. If you've just logged on to BlueJayTV.com, Elmhurst going to have to come back. First game of the season, they trailed Aurora University 13-0, came back to win that one. See if they can come back and win here on Senior Day here at Langhorst Field. Another short kick, and this time 2 bounces to Parbs. Across the 30, 35, got some room here on the near side across midfield, and he is knocked down inside the 40 to the 38-yard line of North Park. What a brilliant return by Justin Parbs and Elmhurst for the first time in North Park territory today. As you see the tail end there, the Blue Jays are going to have excellent field position on its 3rd possession of the game. Blue Jays averaging 114 yards rushing per game, 154 passing per game. First and 10 Blue Jays from the 38-yard line of North Park. Holloway, the ball carrier, and he'll get about 2. Gary Anish, the kicker, was in on the stop. He made the initial hit, 5'11" junior from Chicago.
Holloway picks up 1 yard.
Wati Pati, Harold Alexander, Patamo Soa, and Quinton Voce, the defensive line for North Park. Womack and Casey Dobchek split out to the top of your monitor. 1 yard pickup by Holloway, so it's 2nd down and 9 for the Blue Jays. Handing it off to Holloway, and he tries to cut back inside, and he's not going to get too much room there. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. North Park, good lateral movement, good stop at the line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 11 here for the Blue Jays. Trying to avoid their 3rd straight 3 and out here. 3rd down and 9 for Hernandez and the Blue Jays.
On the play, 3rd and 9 for the Blue Jays.
Holloway is the lone back, flanked to the right of Hernandez. Straight drop for Orlando, setting up the screen underneath to Womack. Womack makes a nice move. He's going to have a 1st down and brought down at the 21-yard line, 16 yards on that pass play from Hernandez to Tristan Womack. And the Blue Jays pick up a 1st down. Womack out of Hewitt, Texas, 5'7" junior, picks up the 1st down for the Blue Jays. 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Hernandez, and that pass intended for Jim Robley, the senior tight end, and it's going to be incomplete. Robley went to Sandburg High School. Eagles finished the season 3-6, did not make the playoffs.
2nd and 10 for the Blue Jays.
It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 here for the Blue Jays. .7:03 left to play here in the opening quarter. Holloway, the ball carrier. Holloway looking to get in the end zone, and he is in. 21-yard touchdown run for Ben Holloway. His 2nd touchdown of the season, and the Blue Jays are on the board.
Ben Holloway goes for 21 yards. And
great run by Ben Holloway. Take another look at it here. Bounces off a couple of would-be tacklers, breaks that tackle, and he scampers into the end zone, 21 yards out. Sean Jay with the hold. The extra point by Blake Bailey is no good. So it's 14-6 in favor of North Park. So good to see the Blue Jays answer as we take yet another look at the touchdown run by Ben Holloway. One of the 18 seniors honored here today on Senior Day. Ben, a 5'8", 175-pound senior out of Galesburg, Illinois. Ben is approaching the 400-yard mark on the season. And so now it'll be Blake Bailey to tee it up at his own 35-yard line. 14-6 in favor of North Park. Final home game of the season for the Blue Jays. Jacob Nakahiki Young, freshman from Hawaii, number 34, one of the deep men for the North Park Vikings. 6:57 remaining here in the opening quarter. 3 touchdowns so far here in this first quarter, 2 by North Park and 1 by Elmhurst. Good kick by Bailey from the 8-yard line and bringing it back to the 25. Ball was loose, but he was said marked down. Returning Josh Casey, 6'1" senior from Wooddale, Illinois, returning that kickoff for North Park. So Grant Borsch and the Viking offense coming back to work here. Leading 14-6 as both teams searching for that first CCIW win of the season. Borsch will hand it off, and Sirocco, the ball carrier. Sirocco will get to the 29-yard line, a pickup of 3. It'll bring up second down and 7.
Picks up 3 on the play, tackled by Jay and Dominski.
We haven't seen Justice McNeil Young, number 20. He's the leading rusher for this North Park team. 553 rushing yards for him. Borsch plants, throws, and that one to Brian Mena. Boy, Brian did a nice job of going up and grabbing that one and pulling it down to the 48-yard line, a pickup of 20. And a first down for North Park. So 1st and 10 Vikings from their own 48-yard line. Brian, a 6'1", 186-pound sophomore, coming down with that catch, and he was well covered as well. First and 10, North Park from its own 48-yard line. A little shovel pass here to Casey, but that was, boy, beautifully done there by number 8, Brandon Dominski, who came up and made the hit. Back to the 47. It's actually going to be a loss of a yard. And so it's going to be second down and 11 now for North Park. Brandon Dominski, another senior. Played his high school football at Lincoln Way Central. Second and 11. Keep it on the ground, and getting about 1, maybe 2 is Sirocco. Back to the line of scrimmage. Bring up third down. Well, it's about 3rd and 11 here.
Sirocco, the ball carrier,
spotted at the 47.
No gain.
So now a big third down here for the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays sidelines trying to get the defensive unit pumped up. Single coverage on the bottom of your screen. Brandon Green and Brandon Vincent hooking up one-on-one. 3rd down and 11. Borsch instead rolls out to his right, throws off balance, got his man. That's Mena again. And Brian will have a first down across the 40, tackled at the 38-yard line. So a big 3rd down conversion for North Park. You see the catch there by Mena. And he brings it forward to the 37-yard line.
Pass complete to Mena for 16 yards.
A 16-yard pass play from Borsch to Mena. First down and 10 for North Park from the 37-yard line of the Blue Jays. Under 4 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Borsch on play action. He's going to throw it deep here, though. That ball's up for grabs. And Sid Smith, the 4th, almost had it. Throwing into double coverage that time. Jared Hunter, number 20, was there. Also, Tristan James was there on the coverage for Elmhurst. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for North Park. From the 37, here's Sirocco. Sirocco will get tackled at the 32-yard line. Coming up and making the stop was Jared Hunter, the 5'10 freshman out of Lyle. Ball at the 30-yard line. 7 yards on that pickup for Sirocco. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 3 yards to go. Right now, it would be a 47-yard field goal attempt, which is a little bit far-fetched here for North Park. Probably a 2-down territory here. 3rd down and 3, Borsch rolling. Pass is complete. It's going to be another first down. Sid Smith, the fourth, will have it just outside the 25-yard line, spotted at the 26. Needed 3, got 4, and they'll move the chains here.
Borsch's pass complete to Smith, good for 4 yards and a Vikings first down.
Boy, North Park has moved the ball well here in this opening quarter. Of course, the blocked punt helped as well. 14-6 in favor of North Park. 2:43 to go here in the opening quarter. Set a screen to Sirocco here, but read beautifully, and Sean Kelly making the tackle from behind. Kelly went to Lincoln Way Central High School as well, the 6'1" senior, coming up and making the tackle from behind. Tackling Sirocco, it's going to bring up a loss of 4 back to the 30-yard line, so it's going to be 2nd and 14. Vikings need to get to the 16-yard line to pick up a first. 2nd and 14 on the draw, delayed draw, Sirocco, and we're going to have a flag. Sirocco got tackled by Tavy Derns.
Brought down by Derns.
But we'll see what the penalty marker is, and this one is going to go against North Park. Jeremy Mansilla, the referee.
Where are we putting the ball down at here?
Holding against the Vikings, and that will, the 10-yard walk-off brings it back to the 37-yard line. We'll see if the Blue Jays bring the linebackers here. We'll see if they blitz. 2nd and 21 out of the eye here now for North Park. They're going to hand it off to Sirocco. Bounces off 1 tackle, but then it's coming up and making the tackle is Jim Phelps, senior linebacker, and it's going to be 3rd down and long, no gain.
Sirocco, the ball carrier, met at the line by Phelps and
So Michael Sirocco has been the main horse running the football for North Park here in this opening quarter. 3rd down and long here, the Blue Jays looking to get the stop here. Just over a minute remaining here in the opening quarter. 3rd and long here for Borsch and the Vikings. Play action, Borsch going deep. And it's caught by Sid Smith. And he gets shoved out of bounds. No flag on the play. It's going to be 1st and goal for North Park. Another big play here. Grant Borsch hitting Smith. And he's going to be out of bounds at the 37-yard pass. Oh, they're calling it a touchdown. Boy, I thought he got knocked out of bounds outside the pylon, but they're giving North Park the touchdown. All right. Tyler Pangelinan is going to go for the 2-point conversion, and it is good. Dalton McKay converts the 2-point conversion for North Park, and it's 22-6. You see McKay on the fake, taking it to the corner.
Attempt is good with 48.4 seconds left to go in the quarter. North Park 22, Elmhurst.
And it's 22-6. 3 first-quarter touchdowns here for North Park, and the Vikings lead at 22-6. Couple of big plays here in this first quarter. The blocked punt, the big pass from Borsch to Powell that went for 50 yards. And of course, this pass play from Borsch to Sid Smith for the touchdown. Back deep, Justin Parbs for the Blue Jays. Again, it's Gary Anish to tee it up and kick off from the 35-yard line. Boy, North Park averaging 13 points per game already with 22 points. And there's still 48 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. Anish, another low line drive taken at the 22-yard line. And returning this is, looks like it's Brandon Greer, number 26, the starting defensive back. And he's going to bring it back to the 38-yard line. 39 seconds remaining here in this opening quarter.
That was Greer with a 16-yard.
First and 10, Blue Jays from their own 38-yard line. Sun making its way out. Leaves turning colors in the background. Beautiful scenery and a beautiful setting here, Langhorst Field. Blue Jays trailing 22-6. Hernandez across the middle. He's got his tight end, Jim Robley. And Robley's brought down at the 42-yard line of North Park. First and 10. Well done. Take another look at it here. Hernandez. 19-yard pickup.
First and 10 from the Vikings, 42.
Jim Robley was Ryan Howson, the free safety, coming up and making the tackle for the Vikings. First and 10, Blue Jays from the 43. Robley going in motion. Hernandez fakes it to Bethke, again throwing across the middle, and again intended for Jim Robley, off his fingertips and incomplete.
Hernandez pass incomplete.
Second and 10 with just over a second remaining. You see a little play action there, and Hernandez, Robley couldn't quite pull it in. Should be the final play of this opening quarter. 22-6 in favor of North Park.
30, but you got to, or 25, but you got to win by 2.
Casey Dobchek along with Treston Womack here on the near side. Hernandez, second down and 10, and we got a flag.
You just turned it off. False start on this.
False start against the Blue Jays, 5-yard walk-off. It will remain second down. Ball is spotted back at the 47, so it'll be second and 15.
False start penalty on Elmhurst makes it second and 15 from the Vikings, 47.
Jacob Mamisher splitting out here to the bottom. Womack in the slot. Hernandez is going to hand it off to Brock Bethke, and the final play of the first quarter as Bethke takes it to the 36-yard line. Nice run by him. 12-yard run, so that will end the first quarter here in Elmhurst. The visiting Vikings of North Park lead it here by a score of 22-6. And we'd like to remind you that this afternoon's game is being brought to you by Elmhurst BMW, located at 466 West Lake Street. Visit them online at www.elmhurstbmw.com. Today's game also being brought to you by Jaguar Elmhurst, located at 490 West Lake Street. Check out their website at www.jaguarelmhurst.com. Along with our producer and director, Glenn Liljeberg, Mark Kruger, delighted to have you with us here this afternoon from Langhorst Field in Elmhurst. Blue Jay football, final home game of the regular season. The Blue Jays will finish up the season next week at Wheaton. So the Blue Jays will start the second quarter.
Yep. Well, we would have taken it. That would have been a first down. Or right on the nose of it.
With the ball at the 36-yard line. Hernandez is going to hand it off to Brian Bethke, straight up the middle running, and he will get to the 34-yard line. Harold Alexander was in on the tackle. First quarter numbers, Grant Borsch was 10 of 14 passing for 155 yards and 2 touchdowns. Of course, that big one to Malik Powell for 60 yards. Michael Sirocco ran the ball 7 times for 20 yards in that first quarter. Ben Holloway, 5 carries, 23 yards. Hernandez was 3 of 8 for 41 yards. 4th down and 2 here. Womack, the motion man. They're going to hand it off to Bethke, and I don't think Brock got there. It's going to be short, and North Park will get the ball back on downs. Well, see Brock Bethke going straight up the middle. And it looked like it was big number 99, Lubin's Jean Paul there to make the stop. Ball now at the 34-yard line, and North Park will take over here. 14 minutes and 17 seconds remaining here in this first half. North Park was 4 of 5 on 3rd down conversions in that opening quarter. Here's Michael Sirocco, the ball carrier, and he will get about a yard to the 35-yard line. Sean Kelly, number 56, making the tackle.
Picks up a yard on the play. Brought down by Kelly.
1-yard pickup. 2nd down and 9.
Run at the end of the quarter. 32.
Borsch, here comes some pressure, steps up, and Borsch breaks a couple of tackles. He's finally going to get brought down by Jim Phelps, but right back at the line of scrimmage to the 35, so no gain on the play. Borsch avoided a sack, fortunate enough to get back to the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be 3rd down and 10 now for North Park.
No gain. 3rd and 9 for the Vikings.
Into the game, LeVore Little, number 31 for the Blue Jays defensively. He lines up at defensive end.
That's what I thought.
3rd down and 9 here for Borsch. Straight drop, looking to the far side, mano y mano, and that one is incomplete. Brandon Vincent was the intended receiver.
Borsch's pass intended for Vincent falls incomplete.
So the incomplete pass, and now North Park will punt. Justin Parbs is back deep, and punting will be Gary Anish. Anish averaging 35 yards per punt this season, his longest 58.
Anish on to punt for the Vikings. Parbs back deep at his own 25 for the Blue Jays.
Parbs is back, standing at his own 25-yard line. Low line drive punt. Parbs is just going to let this one go. And it will come to a rest at the 25-yard line. So the Blue Jays going back to work offensively here. 12:38 remaining here in this first half. You see the score there on the bottom of your monitor, 22-6 in favor of North Park. Total yards of offense in that first quarter, North Park 176 to 74 for the Blue Jays. Casey Dobchek to the bottom of your monitor. You've got Tristan Womack in the slot. Hernandez rolling this way, and he's going to tuck it under and try to get to the edge. Cuts it up and gets a couple. There is a flag down.
Hernandez, the ball carrier. Flag on the play.
Flag coming down. Usually it's a holding call, and that's the case.
Number 7, 10-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Well, that was Tristan Womack trying to block downfield, and he gets called for the holding penalty. So it was on the 25, now it's back to the 15. 1st and 20. 12:24 remaining here in this first half. 2 wides to the top. Womack in the slot to the top. Robley, the motion man. Hernandez trying to set up the screen. They do to Holloway, but boy, that was read beautifully by David Simmons. What a game he has had so far. A couple of tackles, had that block punt as well. As we take another look, Simmons coming up and making the nice tackle on Holloway.
Hernandez pass complete to Holloway.
Ball at the 17, so just a 2-yard pass play to Holloway brings up second down and 18. And a whistle before this play gets underway.
The guy jumped and then the lineman reached across to make contact.
3 officials, now 4 officials talking things over.
Did he reset himself before the flag? He was trying to contact.
Conversation continues. Now it's concluded. It's offsides against North Park. So the Blue Jays will take the 5, and it's now at the 22-yard line.
Offsides on North Park, the call.
So the offsides penalty, first penalty of the game against, I should say, so it's a second penalty of the game against North Park. It'll bring up second down and 13 yards to go from the 22-yard line. Hernandez keeps it straight up the middle, gets tackled by David Simmons at the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8. So the Blue Jays need 5 to pick up the first.
Hernandez, the ball carrier, picks up 8 on the play.
Third down and 5.
Makes it third.
Again, the Blue Jays converting just 26% of their third down conversions coming into this afternoon's game. Trying to pick up a third down and 5 situation here. Casey Dobchek to the bottom of your monitor. Jacob Mamashur to the top. Third down and 5. Hernandez has time, pass complete to Dobchek, turns and spins, first down and more across midfield, stiff arms Ryan Howson, and he will get knocked out of bounds at the 43-yard line of North Park. It's a first down. So you see the nice catch by Casey Dobchek and a nice turn upfield. Casey Dobchek, a junior, he went to Lincoln Way Central. Lincoln Way Central lost last week in the opening round to Hersey High School in the opening round of the Class 8A playoffs. First and 10, Blue Jays from the 43 of the Vikings. Holloway, the ball carrier, gets inside the 40 and down to the 36-yard line, a pickup of 7. Second down and 3. Isaac Martinez lost his helmet for North Park, so he's going to have to come out, number 57.
Holloway, the ball carrier, brought down by Martinez on the play. Picks up 6, makes it second and 4.
6-yard pickup officially. It'll bring up second down and 4 from the 37. Coming up on the 9-minute mark of this first half, 22-6 in favor of North Park. And the give is to Holloway, showing some patience, waiting for the blocking, and as he dives to the 30-yard line, picks up 7, and it's a first down for the Blue Jays here. Take another look. You saw the patience right there by Holloway waiting, and then he dives to the 30-yard line. Quinton Voce. Alexander was there as well on the stop for North Park. First and 10 Blue Jays from the 30-yard line. Hernandez cuts it back inside on the quarterback keeper. Takes it close to the 27, pickup of 3 yards. Make that a, well, where are they spotted? 3.5-yard gain for Orlando.
Hernandez on the rush for the Blue Jays, brought down by Voce.
Orlando, the second leading rusher behind Holloway coming into this afternoon. 59 carries for 194 yards, so he's over 200 yards now for the season rushing. Second down, 7 yards to go for Elmhurst. Holloway, and he takes it close to the 22, pickup of 5. Third down and a couple here for the Blue Jays. No huddle offense, and we've got an injured Viking down on the field at the 25-yard line.
Where are we putting it? 21, so he's short.
And that is Gary Anish, the linebacker and the kicker, but now he's going to jog off under his own power, so hopefully he'll be okay.
Picked up 6 on the play.
It's going to be third down and 1 after that 6-yard pickup
And Housen.
By Holloway.
3rd and 1 for the Blue Jays from the North Park 21.
Ball at the 21-yard line here. 7:39 remaining. Blue Jays trying to cut into this 22-6 deficit. Third down and 1. Hernandez on the keeper. Looked like he bobbled it a little bit, and boy, back to the line of scrimmage. I don't think he got there. Harold Alexander again making the tackle.
Hernandez.
And they are going to spot it right at the 21, so no gain. Well, it's just outside the 20, so it's going to be fourth down and about a half of a yard here.
And 1 for the Blue Jays.
Chase Hankins coming in under center. Hankins takes it, and he fights his way to the 19-yard line. So Chase Hankins coming in, dives forward, picks up a yard to the 19-yard line, and it's 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays. And it looks like Hankins is going to stay into the game. Chase Hankins, 6'1" senior.
Chase Hankins with a 2-yard keeper. Good for an Elmhurst first down. 1st and 10 from
Orlando Hernandez, they are looking at him sitting on the sideline. The trainer looking like a knee situation. Boy, we hope Orlando's going to be okay. So Chase Hankins in to replace an injured Hernandez. Hankins to Mamashore, and Jacob into the end zone for a touchdown. 19 yards from Chase Hankins to Jacob Mamashore. Well, for Jacob, his second touchdown of the season.
For 19 yards.
19 yards from Chase Hankins to Mamashore. And now the Blue Jays look to be going for 2 here, trailing by 10.
10 plays, 75 yards.
10 plays,
6:24.
75 yards. They took 6 minutes and 24 seconds off the clock. What a great drive. Trying to cap it off here with a 2-point conversion, and we've got a delay of game. So it'll be a 5-yard walk. Now we'll see what Coach Plans decides to do here as they push it back 5. But down 10, the numbers say go for the 2, and that's what the Blue Jays are going to do. 22-12 right now.
Yeah, if you miss it, you're still down 2. Even if you get hit, you're still down 3.
Mamashore and Bed Friedrich. Now Friedrich is the motion man here on the 2-point conversion attempt. Hankins into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion fails as Ryan Housen caught it for North Park. So the score remains 22-12. 6:14 remaining here in this first half.
Conversion attempt is no good.
So the 2-point conversion fails. Great job by Chase Hankins coming in at relief, if you will, and finding Jacob Mamashore for a 19-yard touchdown pass play. So the Blue Jays are within 10 here, 6:14 remaining. Ten plays, 75 yards on that drive for Elmhurst. So Blake Bailey will kick it away here for the Blue Jays. Josh Casey is back deep along with Jacob Nakahiki Young. Awaiting the kick of Blake Bailey. Well, short, high kick. And this is taken at the 13-yard line. Casey returns it across the 25, and he will get tackled at the 27-yard line. So that's where the Vikings will take over here with 6:06 remaining here in this first half. We thank you for logging on to BlueJayTV.com. You saw the tail end of that return there. Mark Kruger, delighted to bring you the action as the ball is spotted on the 27.5-yard line, if you will, just short of the 28-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Vikings. And a new quarterback out there for North Park.
That's McGovern.
J. Drew McGovern is a 6'1" freshman out of Milan, Michigan, taking the snap. So we've seen 2 quarterbacks now for each team. No gain. Grant Borsch, the starting quarterback. Not sure if he was injured or not, but Orlando Hernandez, the starting quarterback for Elmhurst, was injured. So McGovern out there at quarterback here for North Park. 2nd down and 10. McGovern rolling here, off-balance throw. That one is incomplete. Brian Mena was the intended receiver. Tristan James with the coverage.
3rd and 10 for the
Of
Vikings.
course, Tristan James replacing Angel Mata. James, a freshman out of Bluffton, South Carolina. Good coverage there for him. 3rd down and 10 for McGovern and the Vikings. Boy, the Blue Jays can stop it here. Should get delayed draw play. McGovern, and he's going to get wrapped up by Romaine Richards. Richards, a 5'11" senior out of Tamarack, Florida, coming up with the tackle, and the Vikings will punt it away here. It'll be Gary Anish to punt. Back deep is Justin Parbs. And the Blue Jays should get good field position here. We are under 5 minutes to go here in the half. Boy, the Blue Jays, that'd be great if they could get another score here before the half. This one settles at the 39-yard line. So 1st and 10 here for the Blue Jays. Good news, Orlando Hernandez is back in at quarterback for the Blue Jays. Orlando, 4-year starter, all-conference a couple of years ago. Injured quite a bit last year, got nicked up this year as well. But good to see him back out there at quarterback. 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays from their own 39-yard line. .439 remaining here in the half. Hernandez, and he's got his man Robley, and his helmet comes off. That's 32 for North Park. That's Jones. His helmet comes off, so he's going to have to leave. Ball at the 45-yard line. Robley with a 6-yard catch. Boy, he got hit hard, too. 2nd and 4. Hernandez looking, has time, and that one incomplete. Casey Dobchek was the intended receiver. David Simmons on the coverage. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 4 here for the Blue Jays. Another look. Hernandez has some time, but Simmons with the coverage. 3rd and 4. Blue Jays in the first quarter, 1 of 3 on third down conversions. Third down and 4. Hernandez, pressure from behind, throws. Incomplete. Womack was the intended receiver, and it's going to be 3 and out for the Blue Jays.
Incomplete. Brings up fourth down for Elmhurst.
Coming out to punt, Blake Bailey. Dalton McKay is the deep man for the Vikings. High snap. Bailey, though, gets it off. McKay's going to backpedal from his own 10. And a pretty nice return to the far side as he brings it back 14 yards to the 24-yard line. And that's where the North Park Vikings will take over here with 4 minutes and 3 seconds remaining here in this first half. Beautiful afternoon for football.
42-yard punt.
Overcast day. Opening kickoff, 51 degrees. It's now down to 48 degrees. Cool fall evening. Cool fall afternoon, I should say, here at Langhorst Field. Grant Borsch back in at quarterback for the Vikings. Straight up the middle running, a gain of about 2 to the 26-yard line is Michael Sirocco. Second down and 8 here for the Vikings.
2-yard run brought down by Durns.
Little back in on the defensive line for the Blue Jays. Three and a half minutes left to go in the half. Second and 8 for North Park from its own 26. Borsch over the middle, pass complete, Malik Powell. And Powell very close to the first down at the 34-yard line. And it is indeed a first down. They'll move the chains.
At the 34.
First and 10 Vikings from their own 34-yard line.
Borsch's pass complete to Powell, good for 8 yards.
Nice catch by Powell, 5'9", 175-pound junior. Exactly 3 minutes remaining here in this first half. Borsch setting up a screen out in the flat to the far side to Powell again. But Malik cannot go anywhere after he caught the ball. It's actually going to be a loss of a couple back to the 32. Timeout taken by the Blue Jays. They've got 2 timeouts remaining. So Coach Plans is thinking, hey, second down and long. After a loss of 2, it'll be second down and 12. There's 2:46 left on the clock, and we'd like to remind you that this afternoon's game is being brought to you by Elmhurst BMW, located at 466 West Lake Street. Visit their website at www.elmhurstbmw.com. Today's game also being brought to you by Jaguar Elmhurst, located at 490 West Lake Street. Check out their website at www.jaguarelmhurst.com. 2 timeouts left for the Blue Jays. The Vikings have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. 2:46 left in the first half. (22-12) is your score. Second down and 12. Borsch, play action, going deep over the middle. Brian Mena, and that's going to be picked off by Brandon Greer. What a pick, his 4th pick of the season. Brandon Greer, the senior out of Mount Carmel. Wow, North Park going deep, but what great concentration is Green. Looked like he bobbled it a little bit, but he brought it in. His 4th pick of the season.
Pass is intercepted by Brandon
Green, the senior out of Mount Carmel.
Elmhurst takes over.
Caravan, by the way, are at Lake Zurich today for a Class 7A playoff battle. So 2:37 left. I guess you could kind of think of that as a a punt for North Park. 1st and 10, Blue Jays with 2:37 left. Holloway is the ball carrier. And Holloway breaks some tackles, gets across the 35, and he picks up a 1st down. Ball spotted at the 37-yard line.
Holloway, the ball carrier, picks up 11 and an Elmhurst.
11-yard run for Ben Holloway. Clock continuing to move, 2:20 to go in the half. Hernandez steps up, screen to Holloway, but he's going to get brought down immediately. Clock continuing to run as we approach the 2-minute mark. It's going to be 2nd down and 6.
Holloway's pass good for 4. Hernandez pass good for 4 yards to Holloway.
Under 2 minutes to go here. Hernandez. And the pass is complete to number 85, Ben Friedrich. And Friedrich is all the way to the 33-yard line of North Park. Friedrich, the 6'2 freshman out of Crown Point, Indiana, makes a big play. Spotted at the 33-yard line, 25 yards on that catch. Now it's Holloway inside the 30. Holloway, and he's going to get out of bounds at the 26-yard line. 1:42 left on the clock. Boy, this would be a big score for the Blue Jays. The ball is spotted at the 26-yard line. Ben Holloway has had a couple of big runs. Of course, the nice catch here by Ben Friedrich for 25 yards. 2nd down and 3 from the 26. See if Hernandez goes deep here. 1:42 left. 2nd down and 3. Nope, instead they hand it off to Holloway, and Holloway will get brought down. Uluo Lituli. Wanted to say that name. Number 9. Uluo Lituli. 5'9" senior with the tackle. 1st down for the Blue Jays.
1st down.
1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. 2 wide receivers to either side for Hernandez. Looking left. Nothing there, and he's going to get brought down by Gary Anish. Anish, the 5'11" junior out of Chicago, coming up with the sack.
Hernandez sacked by Anish on the
First sack of the afternoon for the Vikings, and the Blue Jays call their 2nd timeout.
That is Elmhurst's 2nd timeout.
So the Blue Jays have 1 timeout remaining, 1:19 left. Big defensive play there by Gary Anish. Again, I'd like to remind you that this afternoon's game is being brought to you by Elmhurst BMW, located at 466 West Lake Street. Their website is elmhurstbmw.com. Today's game also being brought to you by Jaguar Elmhurst. They are located at 490 West Lake Street. Check them out at www.jaguarelmhurst.com. So after the Anish sack, the ball is back at the 28-yard line. 2nd and 15 now for the Blue Jays. Three wide receivers now to the top. Hernandez looking that way, and a bit of a miscommunication there. Ben Friedrich, big number 85, the tight end, was the closest Blue Jay there. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 15.
The pressure on the play. 3rd and 15 for the Blue Jays.
You're looking right now at about a 45-yard field goal, but I'm not sure that's in the cards for Ron Plans right now in the Blue Jays. 3rd down though, first. 3rd and 15. Hernandez looking for Dobchak, and that one deflected, and it is going to be picked off. David Simmons had it. It bounced out of his hands and into the hands of Uluo Lituli. Oh, wow. So the interception for North Park here with 1:08 remaining. It'll be North Park ball, 1st and 10 from its own 20-yard line. Oh, that one's tough. Well, the Blue Jay defense going to have to hold here. 1:08 left to play in the half. See if the Blue Jays can get a turnover, get the ball back. Instead, they're going to hand the ball off. Sirocco, the ball carrier, and he gets close to the 30-yard line. Ball is spotted at the 28.5-yard line.
24.
And North Park calling a timeout here.
I thought we did.
Or did who called the timeout here?
Timeout somebody.
Timeout, Elmhurst.
Elmhurst calling the timeout. All right.
Clock operator, can you please put 1 minute, 2 seconds on the play clock, on the game clock? 1-0.
Officials want a couple more seconds back on the game clock, so the Blue Jays are out of timeouts. North Park has all 3 of its timeouts remaining.
2nd and 6.
It'll bring up a 2nd down and 6 situation here for the Vikings. A couple of big plays in this first half for North Park. Of course, that block punt, and now this interception here towards the end of the half. 22-12 in favor of the visiting Vikings. Senior day here at Langhorst Field, final home game of the season for the Blue Jays. 2nd down and 6 here for Grant Borsch and the Vikings. Delayed draw, straight up the middle running. Sirocco will get to the 27-yard line, tackled on the play by Jim Phelps. We'll see how North Park plays it here. Remember, the Vikings still have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. They're going to face a 3rd down and 2 situation here, and right now they're in no hurry here to run a play. 3rd down and 2. Half a minute remaining. Well, they're going to run the play clock down as long as they can here, it seems. Borsch, again, the delayed draw. Sirocco. Blue Jays cannot stop the clock, so it looks like the Vikings will be content here, and they'll head to halftime with a 10-point lead. Clock winding down, and that will do it. First half in the books here from Langhorst Field. It's North Park leading by a score of 22-12 over the Blue Jays of Elmhurst. We'll step aside and come back in a little bit for 3rd quarter action. You are logged on to BlueJayTV.com.
Education is kind of in my family. My dad's a principal, and so I've seen that lifestyle, and I wanted to further education of students, and I really enjoy kids. And so that being said, I wanted to be a teacher and then coach as well. The elementary education program is very rigorous. You get out in the field, you have field experience, starting your sophomore year. So your sophomore through senior year, you're always in the field learning. I think that's just like a huge advantage here at Elmhurst College to have you out in the field early, just because you have such almost like a leg up on everyone else that is going into that major as well, just because you're out there, and it takes 3 or 4 years to realize what the system of a school is. We're in schools all the time as students, but not necessarily as teachers. So it's a different point of view to see the whole school atmosphere. The professors, they're really great. They always email you right back, even in the evenings if you have questions on assignments and papers. The ratio in the class is there's 12 or 13 students per professor in a class period in the elementary education program. And so with that being said, you're not a number, you're a name. And that's something that I really, really like, and it definitely prepares you. They always push you in the classroom, they always push you on the court, off the court. Our coaches push us to do other things besides sports and our major, to get out in the community. And with all that being said, it's kind of a resume builder, and so that's how it pushes us to become more prepared for the real world. Our basketball team actually has weekly meetings in the fall with the Center for Professional Excellence, so they help us build resumes and help us, get our name out to people and businesses for internships and jobs and all that. But I know that when the time comes, I feel like I'm going to be prepared just through the education that Elmhurst has provided and the skills that I've learned as well through sports and our studies.
Coming here as a Division III player, you're coming here to get your degree. We have some players that go on to be professional athletes. They've gone overseas, but that's not the norm. Our players are coming, they're finishing their playing careers here. And so whenever they're done, they're being prepared in something else other than just basketball. So for us, that's the student-athlete model. You come in, you're working hard. Our players put in as much time as a Division I player does, but it's because they want to be there. I know that from motivating our players, if they're coming to practice, I know that they're working hard because it's out of them, not just because we've got a dollar sign, they have to do it, this is how they have to stay in school. They don't have to be there. They're there because they're motivated to, they want to be a good team, they want to be a good player, and there's something that's special about that experience to me, coaching that player.
Welcome to the cultural season at Elmhurst College. Elmhurst is a place of values and conviction. We were founded by 19th century reformers who believed in human potential, loved learning, and had standards. More than 140 years later, we still do. We still attract students and teachers who want to think for themselves and act on principles, who challenge and respect one another, who engage, serve, and celebrate our diverse, dynamic, interdependent world. A few years ago, to be clear about things, we wrote down our core values. This year, we asked some of our students what those values mean to them.
Elmhurst College is unique in so many ways.
Here we really do have values, and my professors know the values, and they push me to be those values.
Stewardship and faith and community and service, and it really does bring in kind of a level of just interaction with values that you never go up before.
As you kind of develop yourself over the years, you start to realize these values mean so much more, and you start to uncover the true meaning behind them.
You begin to see equivalencies between your life and the school, and then you discover that you're not just in a place of learning, you're also in a place of growing, you're in a place of maturity and value exactly that, core values.
Intellectual excellence means allowing our minds to grow in ways that we've never thought they could before. It means exploring those new pathways, seeing how we could do things different. It means stepping outside of our box of what we know and what we're comfortable with and taking those risks to really grow and make things better. I think that's really the core of what intellectual excellence is.
The professors set the standard of intellectual excellence, and that rubs off on the students, and I feel like that's rubbed off on me.
You really have to push yourself. So to know that's actually a value here is pretty important, because that's something I value on my own. So if my college values it as well, that means I really belong here.
To say that Elmhurst College values community, I think, is an understatement. I think Elmhurst College is community in so many ways.
Coming to Elmhurst College, a small college, it has to be about community.
It doesn't really matter who you are or where you've come from. Everyone here will just love you for who you are.
The fact that every individual and every unique person is allowed to be in an environment together and learn from each other and grow with each other.
Just the fact that it's smaller and that you form those one-on-one relationships, it encourages creativity and questioning and all the things I wanted out of my college experience.
Social responsibility means caring for each individual as a person.
there are all these people and they're all more important than my general happiness as a single person.
You're not only trying to better yourself, but I feel like it also means it's your job that you better your community too.
Knowing that there's something larger than yourself and that you can play a part in making someone else's life better.
Taking what I learned from my family, that others come before me, and translating that into the entire world.
It's really awesome to be in a place where not only are you worrying about academics, but it's also teaching me how to be a better person.
To me, stewardship is just being responsible, really thinking about your actions.
If I'm going to say that, I believe in this philanthropy, I think we should do this, I need to follow through with my actions.
What I found coming to Elmhurst is that there are lots of people that feel the same way. So it was easy to find a group of people who were so engaged in service and so willing to help.
Kind of made me reflect on, what do I value in life? Why am I here? They really did kind of push me to the next level and make me think about that, and I think that I'm a better person for it.
Values really help shape identity. If you really don't understand your values, you're not really understanding a part of who you are.
I was more sheltered until I came here, and Elmhurst has really kind of made me step out of my comfort zone and learn more about what I want to do and what I believe in.
Places like the chaplain's office and the Niebuhr Center for Faith and Action give me safe places where I can go to discuss my faith and to discuss my values with people that I know I trust and people that I know I can count on to influence me and to lead me in the right direction.
You can never be forced out of your faith or forced into a different kind of faith as long as you're at Elmhurst, that you really are given the ability to take your pick and always have encouragement from your peers, never shunned or excluded or pressured into something else. There's always a place for you.
If you believe you're here on this earth for a reason, that's going to affect the way you live your life. That's going to affect the way you treat your academics, the way you treat your social life, the way you look at your future and the goals that you have. Those things seem like really big things, but all of that boils down to the way you live your everyday life.
We value
intellectual excellence,
community,
social responsibility,
stewardship,
faith, meaning, and values. Elmhurst College is much more than buildings, courses, and credits. It's a supportive community of individuals who are committed to helping you reach your full potential. But don't take my word for it.
I visited a lot of schools, but when I came here, it was just I'm home.
As soon as I walked on campus, I felt like I could dive right in and get involved.
Getting involved is easy, especially in class. The average class here has just 17 students.
Every faculty and staff here just wants me to succeed.
I can go up to them and it's not just office hours. I'm here from 10:30 to 11:30. It's actually whenever you need help, my door's open.
There's a real connection that takes place. I'm frequently asked, what do I teach? I never say music. I teach people. Music's the vehicle.
It was great to see that rather than just teaching textbook material, they're actually giving you some industry insight.
I'm a vocalist. I'm out in the clubs performing. I'm touring in Europe and performing. So they see how their life can transition into that.
A lot of my friends from other universities, they don't get to be a part of undergraduate research, professional development at such an early stage.
They're truly there to help you and to build you and to make sure that you are amazing.
And at Elmhurst, you can be amazing all around, including on the field. Football is just one of 20 Division III sports.
We went straight to the Final Four of the nation, and that was a great way to come in and start off the season.
They're there because they're motivated to, they want to be a good team, they want to be a good player.
Wrestling wasn't my life. I was able to go out and do a lot of different activities and get involved on campus.
We are allowed to be students, and we can be involved in a lot of other things.
How do you want to get involved? You'll have your choice at Elmhurst.
Our campus has over 100 clubs and organizations.
Whatever you want to do, there's something here for you to do.
Concert choir, the wind ensemble, gospel choir,
Habitat for Humanity, Global Poverty Club.
I'm an orientation student leader,
SGA, Best Buddies.
Greek life at Elmhurst College is really focused on leadership and discovering who you really are.
To be part of all these different organizations and get to know all these amazing people is why I love Elmhurst.
You can also get to know the world beyond the campus. Elmhurst offers study abroad opportunities in 44 countries.
I studied abroad in Granada,
Holland, Germany, El Salvador,
Israel and Palestine,
Costa Rica,
Czech Republic.
Back at home, you'll enjoy all the advantages of our great location. Downtown Elmhurst is just a short walk from campus. And the Metro train will take you to the world-class city of Chicago in just 30 minutes. When it comes to career preparation, we've got you covered. Elmhurst will connect you with the people and the experiences you need to reach your full potential.
Elmhurst allows you to grow into the knowing, and I appreciate that there's a journey that we encourage. It's not just in one program or one department, it's threaded throughout everything that we do.
Elmhurst College pushes you to truly find who you are as a person and as a professional.
They will make sure, no matter what your interests are, what your career path is, that there is going to be a resource on campus that is going to help you find that potential and then reach it.
If I had to say why Elmhurst would be the best option for nursing education, I would say because you don't have to be big to be the best. We have all of the student services, we have all the educational services, the excellent curriculum and faculty, so we're not big, but we are the best. We have a state-of-the-art simulation center, and I have seen many sim centers across the nation, and this one is truly, truly remarkable.
The professors there encourage us to make mistakes because it is simulation, and they want us to learn from our mistakes.
Going to the sim lab that's actually in Elmhurst Memorial Hospital, it's really, really cool. The facility is amazing, it's brand new.
What the simulation center consists of are mannequins, but these aren't just mannequins like you've seen before where you do CPR. Our mannequins talk to you. Our mannequins birth babies. Our mannequins cry. If you don't do what you need to do as a nurse to our mannequins, they will die. So what we do is actually simulate experiences in real life that you will see as a nurse, and you get to make mistakes without hurting people.
At any school you can learn the skills, but I feel like at Elmhurst, the faculty and staff are encouraging us to do more.
They're always passionate about what they do, and I think that's very important. One of my professors said, you don't just want to be a good nurse, you want to be the best nurse.
We do have many partners in the community at Elmhurst College, and basically we have to. We rely on our community partners to provide that clinical education piece. So while we are there with our students, side by side, teaching them, we couldn't do it if we didn't have the clinical partners. I think our faculty are our gems here. When you come to Elmhurst for nursing education, you will receive your education from clinical specialists. You can be good as a clinician, but that doesn't make you a good educator. We need excellent educators to be able to translate that theory into practice for our nursing students.
I got on the floor, and after a few weeks working with my clinical instructor and working with my classmates and collaborating, it really has provided me with a safe space to, talk to my instructor, talk to my other peers, and really work together to build my confidence and competency as a future nurse.
I feel like they are preparing me well, and I have no doubt that in a short year and a half that I'll be ready to go out into the world and be a nurse helping patients.
Our students are working everywhere. We have students working in schools, hospitals, in community health settings. So our students are really everywhere. We don't just teach, we change lives.
I love when people ask me, okay, what can I do now that I'm here?
I'm in the honors program,
Being a part of Union Board,
Best Buddies, Student Government, Debate Club,
Relay for Life, the Research Keystone program,
Greek Life,
Tri Beta,
Juggling Club,
Student Ambassadors.
Once you get here, there are plenty of things going on. Serving the community is such a huge part of being an Elmhurst College student.
Center for Professional Excellence has a whole department and team ready to help you get involved with community service.
I think one of my favorite ones would have to be when I joined Golden Crew. The organization itself focuses on pediatric cancer. We had like a whole scavenger hunt for them, and I dressed up as Batman and kind of helped lead them through the entire experience. And it was kind of really like a humbling thing.
Being able to plan homecoming the last 4 years, it was really honestly one of the best experiences that I've had here.
I don't think I would have been this social or this confident if I wasn't part of the 10,000 things that I get the opportunity to be a part of every day.
The connections that you make on this campus, both in your academic classes as well as the different service organizations or just activities you get involved in, give you the opportunity to really get out there. Making those connections isn't something that's superficial. It's something that you get here as an experience. It's something that it's going to carry on for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you're coming here to get a degree, but your 4 years in college aren't just defined by that. It's by all the things that you're involved in and the people that you meet, and the way that you meet those people is by getting involved.
Why do I go to Elmhurst College?
I'm close to everything.
I need a great school at a great price.
I'm learning about myself and my role in the world.
I love a challenge.
I'm dreaming big,
but feel totally at home. I want an education with meaning.
I want to be a champion for others. I made connections for life.
I'm ready for the real world. Why do I go to Elmhurst College?
To reach my full potential.
Originally, it was a breath of fresh air. I'm alone. What am I gonna do? What could I possibly do? What's ahead for me? And once I got on campus, I just excelled. I utilized all my resources coming here. It was a program called Direct Connect, which was a minority program to get students situated with the campus 2 weeks before school started. So I actually lived on campus 2 weeks before. I went to seminars, which actually helped us get acquainted to the long campus hours. The teachers that were in the seminars were actually going to be our teachers that were on campus. So we have something here called the first year seminar, which not only is supposed to promote growth within the freshmen, but also serve as a guidance or a type of direction for their first time here. And they were ecstatic. They helped me, they gravitated towards me, and I actually use them as a stepping stone even now in senior year. Growing up, I did not have that type of support. In high school, you think you can stay after class, but what will other students think? I think once I got here, it was more so what do I want? Just having a drive, a motivation to go forth and actually reach out for help or ask for help.
Definitely being on the cross country and track team, that has been really great. The athletic community as a whole is really inclusive and inviting, and then having that team, it's really family oriented. We usually have 20 girls on the team, and we're all brought together by our love for running, and our coach is really instrumental in that. But you get to know each other so well through practices, and you're going through all these really hard workouts together. So you're putting everything you've got out there, and you're all supporting each other.
Welcome back to Langhorst Field as we get set for third quarter action here. You are logged on to BlueJayTV.com. 22-12 in favor of the visiting Vikings of North Park. Mark Kruger delighted to bring you all of the Blue Jay football action. Final home game of the season. Nice halftime show. The Poms, the dance team, cheerleaders, all the seniors got recognized here this afternoon. Put on a wonderful show. 18 seniors on this Blue Jay football team recognized before the game as well. So Blake Bailey will kick it away here for the Blue Jays here. And third quarter is underway here, and this one is going to go out of bounds. So Grant Borsch coming out now for North Park. Grant in the first half was 12 of 18 passing. He was picked off one time.
By rule, the ball will be placed at the 35-yard line.
By Brandon Greer. Had a nice interception. It was Brandon's fourth interception of the season. Grant threw for 2 touchdown passes. Orlando Hernandez was 8 of 17. He also had 1 interception. He was sacked once as well. Michael Sirocco, 12 carries, 31 yards in that first half, and first play from scrimmage in the third quarter Sirocco back to the line of scrimmage. There is a flag down, and this one is going to go against North Park. Ben Holloway in the first half, 11 carries for 62 yards and a touchdown. Chase Hankins came in
after the penalty. 1st and 20
for an injured Orlando Hernandez. Remember, he had that 2-yard dive to the 19-yard line to pick up the first down. Then he had a nice touchdown pass to Jacob Mamashore for 19 yards. Borsch, and that one is incomplete on the far side. Sid Smith, the intended receiver. So it's going to bring up second down.
Smith incomplete. Richards with the pressure makes it 2nd and 20 from the Vikings from their own 25.
2 penalties in the first half for North Park, 3 for Elmhurst. 3rd down conversions in the first half. North Park 4 of 8. The Blue Jays 2 of 8. 8 first downs for North Park, 10 first downs for the Blue Jays in the first half. 2nd down 20. Sirocco bounces. Oh, look at the room he's got across the 40. Bounces into his own guy and ultimately is going to pick up the first down to the 46-yard line. 21-yard pickup for Michael Sirocco, and it's a first down for North Park.
Brought down by Hunter on the play after a 21-yard pickup and a North Park first down.
1st and 10 for the Vikings here, opening possession of this 3rd quarter. From the 46-yard line, and again, it's Sirocco straight up the middle.
11 got him first.
Again, about a yard or two. Tavy Derns, the sophomore out of Andrew High School. Andrew lost to Nazareth in the opening round of the Illinois High School playoffs.
2nd and 8 for the Vikings.
2nd down and 8 after that 2-yard pickup by Michael Sirocco. Sirocco's longest run, just 7 yards. This one is complete to Mena. There is a penalty marker down, however. Mena gets down at the 43-yard line of Elmhurst, tackled by Brandon Greer.
Complete to Mena. Flag down on the play.
And this one again is going against North Park.
Or is that pass interference? I thought it was pass interference. It is pass hard to tell. Yep. That's got to be the receiver. Pass interference to call against North Park.
So pass interference against North Park as the ball gets back all the way to the 33. So it'll be 2nd down and 23. The Vikings have to get to the 44-yard line of the Blue Jays to pick up the first down. Borsch stops, plants, pass to Powell, but Powell is hit immediately at the 35-yard line. Tristan James was there to make the stop. Bring up 3rd down and long.
Brought down by James on the play after just 3 yards.
Just a 3-yard pass play there.
Brings up a 3rd and 20.
3rd down and 20. Boy, the Blue Jay defense, see if they bring it here. Sirocco flanked to the left of Borsch. Straight drop for Borsch, pressure over the middle, and he's got his man, Sid Smith. He's gonna be short though of the first down. James again on the tackle. It's gonna be 4th down and about 4 yards to go. Decision time for North Park and the punting unit coming on.
For 15 yards, tackled by James on the play. Brings up a 4th and 5.
Gary Anish will punt it away. Justin Parbs is back deep for the Blue Jays. in the first half. North Park 2 of 2 in the red zone. Elmhurst 1 of 1 in the red zone. From the 13-yard line. 25 and bring it back to the 28-yard line. And so now the Blue Jay offense back to work. But wait a minute, there is a late flag. Boy, well after the tackle, flag coming in. You see the tackle, and there's the flag coming in very late. Personal foul against the Blue Jays here.
That's at the end of the play.
So that 15-yarder brings it all the way back to the 14-yard line.
So he gets credit for the Elmhurst 29.
So the Blue Jays will start this possession from their own 14. First and 10 for Hernandez. Hernandez is going to keep it. Get about 3 yards on the play as he gets over the 15 to the 16-yard line. 11:25 remaining here in the third quarter. North Park, boy, it didn't take them long. With 11:43 to go in the first quarter, Borsch on a 1-yard run. Then a 9-yard pass from Borsch to Brandon Vinson. 14-0 in favor of North Park, but then Elmhurst got on the board. 21-yard run by Ben Holloway. Extra point was no good. That made it 14-6. Speaking of Holloway here, trying to get to the edge and not getting there and getting back to the line of scrimmage. May have lost a yard or so. North Park with 48 seconds left. Sid Smith the fourth, a 37-yard touchdown pass from Borsch. McKay's extra point. McKay's 2-point conversion, I should say, was good. That made it 22-6. And then Jacob Mamashore, 19-yard catch from Hankins, made it 22-12. And that's where we're at here. Early on here in the third quarter. 3rd down and 8. Hernandez, pass complete to Mamashore to the 24. Boy, I think he's going to be a little bit short. Short by about a yard, and you have to bring your punting in. Yeah, boy, it's going to be less than a yard, maybe a half a yard short. So Blake Bailey will come in to punt. Dalton McKay is back deep for North Park. Remember, North Park has a blocked punt already today. Bailey off the side of his foot, not a good punt. And North Park will have this possession in Elmhurst territory here. Gonna get it at looks like the 47-yard line. So 1st and 10 North Park from the 47-yard line of Elmhurst. 9:29 remaining here in the third. (22-12) in favor of North Park. Boy, the Blue Jays got off to that slow start in this game, and they would love nothing more than to give their seniors a victory here, their final home game for the seniors of their career here at Langhorst Field. Gonna need to come back here though. 1st and 10 from the 47. Borsch, little play action, rolling to the far side, throwing, and he's got Mena, and a great catch, knocked out of bounds inside the 30.
Who's that for? 7? Yes. Borsch's pass.
I'm going to say incomplete.
2nd and 10.
Good coverage on the play, just going to result 2nd down and 10 from the 47. Mena, by the way, in the first half, 3 catches for 42 yards. 4 different receivers for the Vikings. Powell had 3 catches, Meno with 3, Smith with 2, and Vincent had 2 catches in the first half. This time it's Sirocco. Michael Sirocco to the 45.
Sirocco, the ball carrier, picks up 2 on the play.
Picks up a couple here, so it's going to be 3rd down and 8.
3rd and 8 for the Vikings.
From the 45 here, under 9 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Blue Jays trailing by 10. You are logged on to BlueJayTV.com. Mark Kruger, delighted to bring you all the action here from Langhorst Field. Borsch. Pass is complete to Smith, but he's going to be short of the first down. Looks like it was Tristan James there to make the tackle. He's going to be a couple yards short. So it's going to bring up 4th down and 2 here for North Park. The ball is at the 39-yard line. And it looks like the Vikings are going to go for it here.
At the Elmhurst 38. Dorsch's pass was complete to Smith for 7 yards. Brought down by James. It's 4th down for the Vikings.
Malik Powell comes out of the ball game. And a timeout. Yeah, North Park looked like pretty confused on that play, trying to figure out what they're going to do here on 4th down and 2. So they decide to take a timeout. Today's game is being brought to you by Elmhurst BMW, located at 466 West Lake Street. Visit their website at www.elmhurstbmw.com. Today's game is also being brought to you by Jaguar Elmhurst, located at 490 West Lake Street. Check out their website at www.jaguarelmhurst.com. 7:58 remaining here in the 3rd quarter from Langhorst Field in Elmhurst. CCIW action. Both teams looking for their first conference victory of the season. 10-point lead here for the visiting Vikings. Going to face a 4th down and 2. Maybe a short 2. Blue Jay defense trying to hold here. Big play. Borsch right now lined up out of the gun. 3 wide receivers to his left. Gonna throw, and the pass is complete to Powell down at the 34-yard line, and he'll pick up a 1st down. Well, they're actually going to spot it at the 33-yard line. So needed 1, got 5. 1st and 10 at the Elmhurst 33-yard line.
For 4 yards and a North Park 1st down.
Borsch again out of the gun. Looking deep here to the near side. Oh, contact there. Brandon Vinson. And the contact there by Jared Hunter. And this is going to be a defensive pass interference
Pass intended for Vincent
against the freshman out of Lyle.
One sees it one way, one is the other, because they didn't immediately signal.
Now the 2 officials are talking things over, so it's perhaps not a clear-cut call here.
I didn't think so either. There was definitely contact.
Obvious contact between the 2 players. Brandon Vincent was the intended receiver. Well, it is indeed on Jared Hunter. My. So that will move North Park into the red zone.
Pass interference, the call on the Blue Jays results in an automatic 1st down.
1st and 10 from the 18-yard line of the Blue Jays. Boy, a big penalty there. Again, Hunter single coverage on Vincent, bottom of your monitor. 1st and 10, Vikings from the 18. Borsch rolling out here. Now plants his feet and he's going to get sacked. Ball is loose. And it's taken by the Blue Jays. Jim Phelps came up with the fumble recovery.
So that is a pass,
big defensive play. Let's take another look at it here. The pressure from behind. It looked like that was LaVar Little, number 41, with the initial hit. And coming up with the fumble is Jim Phelps, the senior out of Lawrence, Michigan. Boy, let's hope that can ignite this Blue Jay offense. 1st and 10 now, Blue Jays from their own 27. Big, big defensive play. 7:24 left. Motion man is Robley. We'll check that. Friedrich, number 85, is the man in motion. Hernandez off balance throw, and he's got Robley across midfield into North Park territory. 1st and 10 here for the Blue Jays. Quick hit after the big defensive play. Jim Robley, the senior, coming up with the nice catch. Ball spotted at the 48-yard line of North Park, so it's 1st and 10 Blue Jays. Under 7 minutes remaining here in the third. Hernandez is going to hand it off to Holloway. Off of left tackle, and Ben will get a yard, perhaps. Lubin's Gene Paul was there to make a tackle. It is
Holloway, the ball carrier, brought down by
no gain on the play, actually. So it is 2nd down and 10 here for Hernandez and the Blue Jays. 2nd down and 10 here for the Blue Jays. Hernandez to the air. Ooh, behind Robley. Looked like Orlando came a little bit sidearm with that play and sailed off to the right. Take another look at it here. He did kind of go 3/4 sidearm, if you will. Clock stops, 6:11 remaining here in the third. 3rd down and 10. And the Blue Jays in the first half, 2 of 8 on 3rd down conversions. 3rd and 10. Hernandez, and that one incomplete. Casey Dobchek was the closest Blue Jay, and now 4th and 10, and Bailey coming in to punt. So the Blue Jays do not take advantage of the turnover. Bailey in to kick. Dalton McKay is back deep here for the Vikings. We'll see if Blake Bailey can pin the Vikings back deep. Oh, they're going to fake it here. On 4th and 10, it's Jacob Mamishore, and he gets about 2 yards to the 46. And, well, that one, North Park was all over it, and the Vikings are going to get the ball back on downs. 1st and 10 from their own 46. So Jacob Mamishore, the up man.
North Park takes over on downs.
North Park takes over here, 1st and 10 from their own 46-yard line. Two wide receivers on either side here for the Vikings. Grant Borsch is going to hand the ball off. Sirocco, look at the hole he's got as he cuts to the outside, now trying to stiff arm Sean Jay, and he's going to get tackled about the 32-yard line, a gain of 14. And check that.
The ball carrier picks up 22 yards.
22 yards on the play.
Brought down by Jay and Hunter on the play.
1st and 10 here for North Park. Ball spotted at the 31-yard line. Boy, Michael Sirocco. They've called his number quite often here today. Again, 2 wide receivers to either side, and again, it's Sirocco, the ball carrier. He'll get inside the 30, and he'll get wrapped up at the 28-yard line. Tavy Derns, number 11, was in on the stop for the Blue Jays.
Picks up 3 yards.
3 yards on the play, so it's going to bring up 2nd down and 7.
2nd and 7 from the Elmhurst 28.
So we approach the 5-minute mark here of this third quarter. 2nd and 7 from the 28-yard line. 3 wide receivers now to the right of Borsch, and they're going to hand it off Sirocco again. Sirocco's inside the 25, and he'll get down at the 21-yard line. A gain of 7, and it should be enough for a first down, and it is. They will move the chains. Nice run. Sirocco picks up the first. Ball is spotted right at the 20-yard line. So, again, North Park in the red zone again.
First down, tackled by Greer. 1st and 10 for the Vikings.
Brandon Greer with the tackle. Well, the Blue Jay defense came up with a turnover right around this area last time. See if they can get another one here. 1st and 10. Here comes the blitz. Borsch throwing into the corner for Smith. And did he come away? Oh, yes, touchdown. Sid Smith, what a catch. Sid Smith, his first touchdown of the season. Take another look at it. The blitz coming. Borsch got it off, and Smith with the touchdown in the right corner. Tyler Pangolinin now in for the extra point. 28-12 now in favor of North Park. And now with the extra point is good. That makes it 29-12. Well, here's another look at the touchdown pass. Great catch by Smith. Question whether or not he got his feet in bounds, and the official was right there down the sideline with the call, and apparently he did. So 2nd touchdown of the game for Smith. He had a 37-yard touchdown pass from Borsch late in the 1st quarter, and now his 2nd one of the game here with 4:06 remaining in the 3rd. So in the back deep, Justin Parbs for the Blue Jays here. Elmhurst trailing now 29-12. Gary Anish will kick it off here for North Park.
Anish to kick it away for the Vikings.
Notre Dame should beat Northwestern, although it depends on which Northwestern team shows up too. 26 from the
This is going to be Greer from the 22, and he gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line, and so that's where the Blue Jays will take over here with 3:59 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Brandon Greer, one of the upmen. Again, the senior out of Mount Carmel, bringing it back. 1st and 10 Blue Jays from their own 36-yard line.
On the kickoff, Elmhurst starts 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line.
Robley in motion. Going to hand it off. Brock Bethke, the ball carrier, and he gets across the 40 to the 41. Good first down run of 5 yards.
Bethke, the ball carrier for the Blue Jays.
And we've got a slow Blue Jay coming up. And he is still down. That's number 65. That's Nick Polio, the starting center. Lombard South graduate. Lombard South lost to Rockford Boylan last week in the Class 5A opening round playoff battle. Injury timeout here, 3:45 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. North Park leading it by a score of 29-12. I'd like to remind you that this afternoon's game being brought to you by Elmhurst BMW, located at 466 West Lake Street. Their website, elmhurstbmw.com. And today's game is also being brought to you by Jaguar Elmhurst, located at 490 West Lake Street. Check out their website at www.jaguarelmhurst.com. Well, up until now, the offensive line for the Blue Jays has been pretty much healthy all season long. Nick Polillo, though, the 6', 275-pound sophomore, being helped off the field here.
Yeah, that was the one. Louisiana Lafayette. It's a raging Cajuns.
As play resumes here, as Nick gets off the field, and he'll be attended to. It's going to be a 2nd down and 5 here for the Blue Jays. They need to get to the 46-yard line to pick up the first. 3.5 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Hernandez, play action, going deep, far side. Mamashur, the intended receiver. Boy, David Simmons almost with the pick. Boy, Simmons is a tough defender.
Incomplete. Simmons on the coverage for the Vikings.
By the way, the backup center, Alex Hall, 5'10" sophomore from Winsboro, South Carolina. He's in replacing an injured Nick Polillo. So 3rd down and 5 here for the Blue Jays. Mamashur comes split out here to the bottom of your monitor here now. Single coverage by Dalton McKay. Now McKay backs off a little bit. 3rd down and 5. Hernandez goes to the top. Oh man, through the hands of David Simmons. The Blue Jays awful fortunate that Simmons dropped the ball. Take another look at it here, right at Simmons, the defensive back, and he drops it. So now the Blue Jays are going to have to punt. Remember last time they tried the fake punt, Jacob Mamashur ran for 2 yards. He's the up man again here in the punt formation. Blake Bailey to kick it away. Dalton McKay is back deep for North Park. Bailey gets off a pretty good one. Fair catch at the 26-yard line by McKay. 3:06 remaining here in the 3rd. It'll be 1st and 10 for North Park. The Vikings leading 29-12. So the Blue Jays down by 3 scores here. Gonna have to mount a huge comeback here. 3:06 left here in the 3rd. Grant Borsch, quarterback for the Vikings. Michael Sirocco is to his left. Borsch is going to pass. Going deep and incomplete. Looked like it was Christian Garza, number 89, or is it 85?
Borsch's pass incomplete, intended for Casey. 2nd and 10 for the Vikings.
It was number 85, Josh Casey. He was the intended receiver. So it's 2nd down and 10 yards to go here for North Park. Borsch handed off. Sirocco, and he'll get close to the 30-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the play. It's going to bring up now 3rd down, 7 yards to go.
Ball carrier brought down by Dominski after a 3-yard pickup.
Brandon Dominski was there on the stop, the senior out of Orland Park. 3rd down and 7 here. Pressure, and the pass is complete. Smith has a whole bunch of running room, makes a move, and he's tackled at the 33-yard line of Elmhurst. It'll be a 1st down. Sid Smith, the 4th, 5'7" junior, making another big catch and a big run after the catch. Finally brought down by James. Boy, oh boy. First and 10 here for North Park.
Complete to Smith for 37 yards.
That one good for 37 yards.
The Elmhurst 33.
The ball is at the Elmhurst 33-yard line here. First and 10, 2 minutes remaining here in the third. Obviously, the Blue Jays cannot afford to get scored upon anymore. Borsch deep over the middle, and the pass is complete to Josh Carey, and that's good for 33 yards and a touchdown.
Borsch's pass complete to Casey for 33 yards and a North Park touchdown.
Josh Casey, 6'1" senior out of Wooddale, Illinois. Went to Fenton High School, and he comes up with the touchdown, 33 yards, and now an injured Blue Jay down at the 5. Injured player, Stefan Postman, 5'11" sophomore out of Davie, Florida. Boy, he's not putting any pressure on that left leg. Going to get helped off the field here. Tyler Pangelinin in for the extra point for North Park. Boy, Josh Casey left wide open over the middle. 33 yards for the touchdown. Currently 35-12. North Park awaiting the extra point. 1:48 remaining in the third quarter. Extra point is up, and it is good. And that makes it 36-12.
Pangelinen's extra point attempt is good. With 1:48 to go.
Here's another look at it. Borsch going deep over the middle, and Casey, you see Postman went down. Casey with the easy catch and the 33-yard touchdown play. 36-12 your score here from Langhorst Field.
Yeah.
Other action this week in the CCIW. Augustana is at Carroll. Washington U from St. Louis is at Milliken in Decatur. Big one, North Central at Illinois Wesleyan. Illinois Wesleyan, your league leaders. 7-1 in conference play. North Central is 6-1 in conference play. And then Wheaton is at Carthage up in Kenosha. That's the other action in the CCIW. Bouncing ball, it'll be Greer picking it up, getting across the 30, 35, and brought down at the 38-yard line. And so that's where the Blue Jay offense goes back to work. 1:41 remaining here in the third.
Greer with an 18-yard.
Blue Jays need to score pretty much on every one of their possessions here from now on. Still down 3 scores. Hernandez throws, and oh my, what a huge hit. Simply going to be an incomplete pass. Tristan Womack was the intended receiver. Take another look at it here. Womack, his hands on it and coming up.
Intended for Womack, broken up by McKay on the play.
McKay coming up and making the big hit. Dalton McKay, number 22, the 6-foot junior corner. Second down and 10 now for the Blue Jays. Hernandez coming here to the near side to Robley. Robley with the catch, and he gets shoved out of bounds at the 42-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 5.
Hernandez pass complete to Robley, good for 5 yards, knocked out of bounds by Smith. 3rd and 5 for the Blue Jays.
1:19 to go here in the third. 3rd down and 5. Hernandez and Mamashur was held a little bit by Simmons. Mamashur and the Blue Jay coaching staff looking for the call, but no flag.
Hernandez pass intended for Mamisher, incomplete.
Boy, Simmons, he's an aggressive corner. There was a little bit of contact there, but not enough for the official to throw the flag. And so now on 4th down and 5, Blake Bailey coming in to punt.
Better way to get 5 yards than throwing it.
Nobody back deep. Now finally Dalton McKay sprints back deep for North Park. Bailey gets off a pretty good one, and it's fair caught again by McKay. This time it's at the 26-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Vikings. 1:06 left to play here in the 3rd. You are logged on to BlueJayTV.com. Special thanks going out to the Director of Sports Administration, Sports Information here at Elmhurst College, Mr. Kevin Jude, providing us with all the stats, the rosters, and the game notes for this afternoon's game. Kevin also, his home recipe, chili, providing everybody up here in the press box with some chili. Very delicious. Kevin is not revealing his secret recipe, however. We're going to have to work on him. Malik Powell with the catch. Under a minute remaining here in the 3rd. Tackled at the 29-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7 here for the Vikings. Final seconds winding down here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 7 here for Borsch and the Vikings. Batted at the line of scrimmage, and it's just going to fall incomplete. Diving effort by Brandon Dominski, almost had the pick on the deflection. Here's another look at it here. You see the ball going straight up in the air. Dominski diving for it, but not quite. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 7. Third and 7, here's Borsch. Time over to the far side, and that one is going to be picked off by Tristan James. And another big defensive play. James gets tackled out of bounds at the 40-yard line. So the freshman out of Bluffton, South Carolina, in there replacing an injured Angel Mata, comes up with the pick.
Intercepted by James.
So let's see if that can get the Blue Jays going here with just 17 seconds left to play here in the 3rd. 36-12 in favor of North Park. Brandon Greer has a pick in this game for the Blue Jays, and now the pick by the freshman Tristan James. 1st and 10 Blue Jays from the 40-yard line. It's going to be Hernandez. He's got room. He's got a 1st down, picks up 12. Down to the 28-yard line, and that will be the final play unless the Blue Jays hurry up and get another one off here.
Down by Enish after an 11-yard pickup and an Elmhurst 1st down.
11-yard pickup by Hernandez, and that will end the 3rd quarter. So we'll switch ends of the field. The Blue Jays will have it 1st and 10 as we start the 4th quarter. It is 36-12 in favor of North Park. I'd like to remind you that this afternoon's game is being brought to you by BMW, located at 466 West Lake Street. Visit their website at elmhurstbmw.com. Today's game also being brought to you by Jaguar Elmhurst, located at 490 West Lake Street. Their website, www.jaguarelmhurst.com. And we thank them for their support of Blue Jay football. Final quarter here at Langhorst Field coming up for this 2018 season. Through 3 quarters, Grant Borsch, 20 of 31 through 2 interceptions. He's thrown for 4 touchdowns today. Meanwhile, his counterpart, Orlando Hernandez, 11 of 26, picked off once. Hernandez was sacked once as well. All right, 1st and 10 here. From the 29-yard line. Hernandez. Dobchek was not open, instead goes to the other side. That's Womack, and Womack is inside the 10. So great decision there by Hernandez. He looked to his left. Casey Dobchek was not open, went to the other side and found Tristan Womack.
Not before Elmhurst, first down.
So it's first down for Elmhurst into the red zone, 1st and goal from the 7. Hernandez looking to his left. Into the corner, Womack, the intended receiver, and it is incomplete. Ryan Housen was there on the coverage, the 2 sevens. Working one-on-one. 2nd goal from the 7. Another look well overthrown. Threw it in a spot, however, that only Womack could have caught it. So 2nd and goal now for the Blue Jays from the 7. Dobchek to the top of your monitor, upper right-hand part of your monitor. Lower left is Jacob Mamashur. Parbs in the slot to the near side. Mamashur, and it's incomplete. Good coverage there by Dalton McKay. And now it's 3rd and goal from the 7.
Incomplete. 3rd and goal for Elmhurst.
Blue Jays need to capitalize here. They need to punch it in the end zone, no question. Third and goal from the 7. Hernandez looking left into the corner, and a little bit of contact. Justin Parbs. Was there was contact there. Jones was the defender. Flag thrown into the end zone. Parbs obviously looking for the pass interference call.
Parbs, flag on the play.
It is defensive pass interference. And that will give the Blue Jays a first down. Should be half the distance to the goal line. It'll be 1st and goal, Blue Jays. 14:23 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Well, the Blue Jay defense proved that they can stop and come up with some big plays. It's the offense, obviously, that needs to put some points on the board. Need to get it done here. Half the distance down to the 2. 1st and goal, Blue Jays.
Pass interference results in an automatic first down.
Casey Dobchek is to the upper right-hand part of your screen. 1st and goal from the 2. It is Holloway diving into the end zone for the touchdown.
Touchdown, Elmhurst.
Touchdown, Blue Jays. Good start to this 4th quarter. Ben Holloway, who had a 21-yard touchdown run in the 1st quarter, comes up with a 2-yard run here early on in the 4th.
Run good for an Elmhurst touchdown.
Sean Jay is looking to hold as they've got a late player, Jim Fisher, coming in late. Blake Bailey for the extra point. Sean Jay with the hold. Extra point is good. Well, hold on, folks. 36-19 now. Still plenty of time left. 14 minutes and 18 seconds left. Blue Jays down 17. Senior Day here at Langhorst Field. 18 seniors being recognized with a nice ceremony the pregame ceremonies. Going to need a valiant comeback in order for the Blue Jays to pull off this victory here today. Remember, they were down 13-0 in the season opener against the Spartans of Aurora University and came back to win that ball game. A couple touchdowns to Jawan Gaines in that game. So Blake Bailey will kick it away here from his own 35-yard line. Vikings with 5 guys up at the 49-yard line anticipating an onside kick. But I'm not sure you do an onside kick here. This is way too early. And indeed, Bailey will kick it deep. This one is going to go out of bounds, however. Not a good kick by Blake Bailey. North Park will take over here, 1st and 10. 14 minutes and 18 seconds to play here in the ball game. And the Blue Jays will finish up their season next week against Wheaton. Meanwhile, North Park will host Illinois Wesleyan 1 week from today on November 10th. So because the ball was kicked out of bounds, it's placed on the 35-yard line. On the near hash mark in North Park, 1st and 10 from the 35. Borsch will hand it off. To the 39-yard line goes Michael Sirocco. Gain of 4. Check that, gain of 3 as it's spotted at the 38-yard line, so it's 2nd down and 7. Blue Jays with all 3 of their timeouts left. Opening moments of the 4th quarter, 36-19. Boy, the Blue Jay defense, they've come up with a couple of big plays. Can we ask them to come up with another one here? 2nd down and 7. Borsch. Again, it's Sirocco, and he'll get wrapped up right at the 38-yard line. No gain. 3rd down and 7.
Sirocco carries once again. Greer drops him at the line.
Brandon Greer was there on the tackle. Brandon coming into this game with 68 tackles, the team leader in that category. Two minutes gone by here in this 4th quarter. 3rd down and 7 here for North Park. Blue Jays looking to hold. Borsch, pressure from behind, throws, and the pass is complete to Malik Powell, and he spins for a 1st down. Wow, Grant Borsch under heavy pressure here, thought he was going to get sacked, gets out of it somehow, throws a little screen to Powell, nice little spin move at the end of that, and he gets tackled at the 49-yard line, enough for a 1st down. Moves the chains, and it keeps the clock running. 1st and 10 Vikings from their own 49. Sirocco, and on forward progress, they're going to mark this right at midfield here. It'll be a 1-yard gain. 2nd down and 9 for the Vikings.
Sirocco, the ball carrier, picks
Brandon
up 1
Clay
yard play, tackled by Clay and Beck.
Was there. Ross Beck also in on the tackle. 2nd and 9 here, 11.5 minutes left to play in the game. Blue Jays looking to get a stop here. They need to get the ball back a couple of times. 2nd and 9, Sirocco again the ball carrier as he slips at the 49. So he picks up 1. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 8. Another big 3rd down play here.
Sirocco, the ball
last 3rd down Borsch hit Powell on a screen, and Malik did a nice job of running after the catch to pick up the first down. And we'll see how North Park plays it here on 3rd and 8. Borsch, straight roll here to the near side, throws off balance. Pass is complete to Smith, but he's going to be short. It's going to be spotted at the 45-yard line, which is 4 yards short of the first down.
Borsch's pass complete to
The
Smith.
punting unit coming on here for North Park.
Hunter brings up 4th down for the Vikings.
So Gary Anish will punt it away. Back deep for Elmhurst is Justin Parbs.
Parbs back deep for the Blue Jays.
North Park looking to pin the Blue Jays deep. Anish takes a peek at the play clock, which is now down to 6. Steps up, boots it. Parbs will let it go. And it's down inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. And so that's where the Blue Jay offense goes back to work here. Orlando Hernandez and company.
For 30 yards down.
30-yard punt by Gary Anish. Just a tick under 10 minutes remaining in this game. 36-19 in favor of North Park. Ball is spotted right at the 15-yard line.
Just 2 first downs, I think. One first down. One first down and they 4 minutes. One first down.
And movement on the right side. Boy, this is going to push them back to the 10-yard line now. It'll be 1st and 15.
On the play. Elmhurst at 1st and 15.
Elmhurst last week, 55-0 loss, struggled to 12th ranked North Central. Cardinals jumped out to a 17-0 lead at half. 38 points in the second half for the Cardinals. 1st and 15 now for the Blue Jays. Hernandez steps up and now he will get sacked. Sacked by Lubens Jean Paul for the Vikings.
Hernandez sacked by Jean Paul.
Brought back at the 14, check that, at the 9-yard line. So a loss of 1 out of all that. 2nd and 16. Hernandez checks his left wrist for the play. 9:24 remaining and a timeout taken here by the Blue Jays.
Timeout, Elmhurst.
9:24 remaining here in this one. The Blue Jays call a timeout. They've got 2 remaining. This afternoon's game being brought to you by Elmhurst BMW, located at 466 West Lake Street. Visit their website at elmhurstbmw.com. Also, today's game is being brought to you by Jaguar Elmhurst. They are located at 490 West Lake Street. Their website, www.jaguarelmhurst.com. Final home game of the season, Senior Day here. 18 seniors being recognized here today. Blue Jays and the Vikings with identical records of 1-7 coming into this game. Both teams looking for their first CCIW win of the season. 2nd and long here, 2nd and 16 for Hernandez and the Blue Jays. Be careful here from their own 9-yard line. Hernandez, straight drop, has time. Now he gets flushed and gets brought down back at the 10. Maybe he gained a yard on that play as he stepped forward. But now it's going to bring up 3rd down and long.
They actually got a yard out of it.
Did get a yard to the 10-yard line.
Flag on the play.
Flag, though, on the play.
Defensive holding. Hernandez tackled after a 1-yard gain by Jean Paul.
Well, they're marking it off against North Park here.
Flag on the play against North Park.
How was it second down? Shouldn't it be first? Holding is usually a replay for previous down. Not defensive holding. Defensive holding I thought was only.
I believe the call is holding against North Park, so it is second down now. 2nd and 8.
Where's the spot?
Coming up on the 9-minute mark as the officials are trying to figure out where to spot this one. It's currently at the 18-yard line. And they're going to move it a couple yards forward, right at the 20.
But still second down.
So 2nd down and 5 after all that. Hernandez throws, and the pass is complete. Friedrich with the reception. That will be enough for a first down. So some breathing room here for the Blue Jays as they get across the 30 to the 32-yard line. 1st and 10 with exactly 9 minutes remaining here in the game. Going to need to hurry up here. Hernandez again checking his left wristband. Holloway, the ball carrier, and Holloway will get tackled at the 34-yard line. He'll pick up 2 yards on the play. McIntyre was there to make the stop.
Holloway, the ball carrier.
8.5 left to play here in the game. Boy, the Blue Jays need to pick things up here. Need to show a little more urgency. Trailing 36-19. Hernandez to the far side to Holloway with the reception. Holloway trying to make a move. Went out of bounds. Clock stops with 8 minutes and 12 seconds remaining. Picked up 2. I'm going to check that. He lost of a yard.
Hernandez pass complete to Holloway. Out of bounds after a loss of 1.
3rd down. 3rd and 9 now for the Blue Jays. Hernandez throws, and Friedrich, the intended receiver, is going to bring up 4th down now with 7:54 remaining.
Brings up 4th down for Elmhurst.
Coming into the game, number 16, Justin Parbs. So the Blue Jays look to be going for it here on 4th and 9 from their own 33. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. 7:54 remaining in the game. Parbs and Dobchek to the bottom of your monitor. 4th down and 9 here for Hernandez. Low snap, picked it up, throws over the middle, and nearly picked off by Jones. And it's going to go to North Park on downs.
Hernandez pass intended for Parbs.
7:47 left to play.
North Park takes over on downs. 1st and 10 for the Elmhurst.
So North Park taking over on downs with great field position here. They have it 1st and 10 from the Blue Jays 33. .747 remaining. Grant Borsch going back door because he hands it off to Sirocco.
56.
Not much there. Sean Kelly in on the tackle for the Blue Jays. No gain. Loss of 4. It's going to be 2nd and 14 here. And the Vikings are going to just run as much of the play clock off as they can. Play clock down to 8 seconds. One second left on the play clock. Again, it's Sirocco, and Sirocco will get tackled at the 35. Picks up 2 yards.
Sirocco, the ball carrier, brought down by Phelps after a 2-yard gain. 3rd and 12.
Jim Phelps was there to make the tackle, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 12 here. Boy, clock down already to 6:40 left. North Park doing a good job of running the clock down, taking as much clock off the play clock as they can. See what they decide to do here on 3rd down and 12. From the 35-yard line. Play clock down to 2. Borsch going deep over the middle. Casey, the intended receiver, incomplete. Josh Casey, number 85, who already has a touchdown catch here this afternoon. So now it's going to bring up 4th down and 12 for the Vikings. Offensive unit staying on here for North Park. Out of field goal range, and they don't want to punt. So they're going to go for it here on 4th and 12. And clock has stopped. 4th down, 12 yards to go. Borsch. Flag on the play, and this one's going to be picked off by Sean Jay. Jay with a pick. There is a penalty marker down, however. Jay looking for some blocking. 30, 35, 40, 45-yard line, and finally shoved out of bounds by Michael Sirocco. So we'll see what the penalty flag is. If it is a hold against North Park, obviously Blue Jays will just decline it. And let's get the official call here. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be against North Park, so the Blue Jays will decline it. And ultimately, it's going to be Blue Jay ball. Well, there's the call holding, and the Blue Jays decline it. Oh, there's a holding against Elmhurst as well. But it's going to be Blue Jay football here. So the pick by Sean Jay, his 2nd interception of the season, the sophomore from Dundee Crown.
Will start 1st and 10.
So he's got a pick. Brandon Greer has a pick. Those two guys have been outstanding in the secondary all season long for Elmhurst. 1st and 10 Blue Jays with 5:53 remaining from their own 33-yard line. They do have 2 timeouts remaining to the Blue Jays. 36-19. Hernandez to the air. Mamashore, and it's incomplete. Double coverage there. David Simmons and Gary Anish on the coverage on Jacob Mamashore. Incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Hernandez pass intended for Mamashore, incomplete. 2nd and 10.
5:47 remaining in this one. Well, you want to stay logged on all winter long to BlueJayTV.com. Blue Jay basketball coming your way from R.A. Fagnall Hall, both the men and the women. Look to have good teams this season. Should be exciting. Crossing pattern underneath Womack, and he gets tackled at the 35-yard line. Just a pickup of 2 out of all that. 3rd down as we are at the 5.5-minute mark now. Third down and 8 from the 35. Hernandez is going to get sacked. Brought down at the 27-yard line.
12 sacks by
Tackled on the play by Amaldo Landreau, I should say. 6-foot freshman out of Puerto Rico. Back at the 29-yard line, so it's going to be 4th down, under 5 minutes remaining. 4th and 14. Hernandez trying to set up the screen to Holloway, and those two cannot get together, and so it'll be North Park ball on downs.
North Park takes over on that.
And North Park, you know, is just going to try to keep the ball on the ground and run the clock out. Again, the Blue Jays with 2 timeouts left. North Park going to get the ball at the 29-yard line of Elmhurst. Again, the Blue Jays will finish off the season next week at Wheaton, taking on the Thunder. That's a 1 o'clock kickoff. North Park will be hosting Illinois Wesleyan 1 week from today. Well, McGovern is now in at quarterback. We saw him in the first half, and he's going to hand it off to Sirocco. And Sirocco is going to lose a yard or two. Thought forward progress got him to the 30-yard line, but they're spotting it at the 31. So a loss of a couple. 4:26 remaining.
Drop for a loss of 2 on the play.
2nd down and 12 coming up for McGovern and the Vikings. So McGovern out of the gun. Nakahiki Young, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it for Jacob, the 6-foot freshman from Hawaii. As we are under the 4-minute mark, ball spotted at the 32-yard line, so a loss of 1 actually there.
Young, the ball carrier.
3:45 left.
A loss of 1 on the play brings up a 3rd down.
3rd down and long here for the Vikings. Nakahiki Young is the lone back. And McGovern is going to wind the play clock down. Play clock down to 3. Nakahiki Young again, and he back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it for Jacob. So it's going to bring up 4th down and long. 3:17 left. Timeout taken by the Blue Jays. So the Blue Jays burn their 2nd timeout. They've got 1 left. 3 minutes and 17 seconds left to play. We'd like to remind you that this afternoon's game being brought to you by Elmhurst BMW, located at 466 West Lake Street. Visit them online at www.elmhurstbmw.com. Today's game also being brought to you by Jaguar Elmhurst, located at 490 West Lake Street. Check them out at www.jaguarelmhurst.com. So the Blue Jay defense back out there after the timeout taken by Elmhurst. The Blue Jays with just 1 timeout left. North Park does have 2 timeouts remaining. North Park is going to face a 4th and 15 from the 34-yard line here. (36-19). North Park looking for its first CCIW win of the season. 4th and 15. McGovern is going to hand it off. Nakahiki Young tackled back at the 36-yard line. So he will lose 2 yards on that 4th down play. And the Blue Jays will get the ball back on downs.
Nakahiki Young tackled by Hunter. Elmhurst will take over 1st and 10.
So the Blue Jays 1st and 10 from their own 33.
I've seen more turnover on downs this game than I probably have in any.
Hernandez on 1st and 10 here for the Blue Jays, and Hernandez breaks out of it, and now he's going to try to run with it here. And he gets tackled at the 37-yard line, a gain of 4, but he stays in bounds and the clock continues to wind down. Under 3 minutes to play. Again, Elmhurst with 1 timeout remaining.
Hillers and Delusma with the tackles. 2nd and 6 for the Blue Jays.
Hernandez now 2nd down and 6. Pass is complete to Casey Dobchak, and Dobchak gets brought down at the 47-yard line. Tackled on the play by Victor Serta. First and 10, though, for the Blue Jays as they are into North Park territory. 2.5 minutes left. Ball at the 46 of North Park.
Hernandez's pass goes for 17 yards and Elmhurst.
17-yard pickup to Dobchek. Hernandez throwing again, and again, this time it's complete to Justin Parbs, and he brings it all the way down to the 35-yard line of North Park. Check that, to the 34. So the Blue Jays moving here, but the clock is a factor now. 2:10 left. Hernandez on first and 10, rolling to his right, throws. He's got his man. Friedrich down to the 31. Gain of 3. Second and 7.
3-yard completion to Friedrich.
1:48 left to play in this one.
For the Blue Jays.
Hernandez, and that one is incomplete. The intended receiver was Treston Womack.
Intended for Womack.
And the clock stops with 1:40 remaining.
Brings up third down for the Blue Jays.
Well, it looks like the Blue Jay streak is going to hit 8 straight losses here. North Park's 7-game losing streak looks to be snapped here this afternoon. Looks like the Vikings are going to pick up their first conference win of the season. Third down and 7 here for the Blue Jays. 1:38 remaining. Hernandez, and he goes down. Pretty much a coverage sack there. Victor Serta was the closest Viking. He'll get credit for the sack as the Blue Jays call their final timeout of the game. Clock stops with 1:29 seconds to play here in this game. See the score, 36-19 in favor of North Park.
Down for the Blue Jays.
The Blue Jays will have a 4th down and 7 situation coming up here after the timeout. So obviously if they do not convert here, North Park will take a knee a couple of times because the Blue Jays cannot stop the clock. They are out of timeouts, so they need to get this first down here.
1A, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 25, 26, 28, 32.
Last year, Elmhurst rallied and knocked off North Park 23-20. That game was played in Chicago, September 16th, 2017. But the Blue Jays are not going to be able to come from behind today. 4th down now for Hernandez. Throws to the far side, pass is caught by Casey Dobchek, but it's caught at the 25, and it's going to be a yard short of the first down. Ball going over to North Park.
Hernandez pass complete to Dobchek.
You see Dobchek get shoved out of bounds at the 25-yard line, and again, the Blue Jays out of timeouts. They cannot stop the clock, so North Park can, well, theoretically take a knee 2 times, and this game will be over. Again, a slow start to this game for the Blue Jays, and that has been a concern all season long. They did not get off to a good start here today, and they're gonna fall today, 36-19. Gonna hand the ball off, Nakahiki Young, and he'll get to the 26. Gain of 1. Thought they'd take a knee, but they're going to run up a couple of plays here. Just under a minute to go.
Nakahiki Young picks up a yard on the play. 2nd and 9 for the Vikings.
2nd down and 9 now, and Nakahiki Young is all the way back at his 12-yard line. So it looks like McGovern will indeed take a knee now, and that will do it. So the North Park Vikings on the road come in here to Elmhurst, and they come away with the victory. Your final score is 36-19 North Park. now 2-7 on the year, 1-7 in the CCIW. Meanwhile, the Blue Jays losing streak is now at 8. 1-8 overall for the Blue Jays, 0-8 in the CCIW. So the Blue Jays will finish off their season next week at Wheaton. Meanwhile, the Vikings of North Park will finish their season at home next week against Illinois Wesleyan. So for Glenn Liljeberg, my name is Mark Kruger. We thank you so much for logging on to BlueJayTV.com. Once again, your final score here from Langhorse Field. North Park winning it by a score of 36-19. We thank you so much for logging on to BlueJayTV.com. Have a great weekend. So long, everybody.